Here we are. Yes.
Well, hello, everybody. It's your boy Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of On the Line. So yes, got a brand new show today. Happy Pride to everybody, as I like to say, because you know I'm a messy bitch. Happy Gay Shame. I mean, happy Gay Shame, bitches. I know I'm looking a little scruffy. I don't know. I just have not been wanting to shave. But yeah, I'm about to get rid of this facial hair tomorrow. I'm starting to look a little werewolfish. But it is what it is. The girls like it. They be calling me daddy and things. But anyway, how y'all doing? Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Show. Chris Avalon Show. Ciao. Remember that, show? Welcome to a brand new episode of On the Line. So before we get into these topics, please like, subscribe, hit that smash, do all of that good stuff, because I need this shit to go through into the algorithm. You know, YouTube be playing. I don't even know if y'all getting the notifications, but if y'all not getting notifications, those of you who do watch, because I do look at the numbers every week, I need y'all to do me that solid and unsubscribe and then subscribe back, because I don't know what's going on with the notifications and the third. Like, YouTube be playing in my face when it comes to, you know, it's not just me. A lot of people, you know that I watch and do what I, you know, the whole blogging thing. We go through it. It's the same thing. Hey, Robert's in the building. You know, we've been chatting all that. Well, we chat all the time. So we got a lot of tea to get to. We're going to be talking about that Titan sub implosion. I got a lot of thoughts on that, child. It was coming for me on social media, but you know I got a mouth, so I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on with that. Also, we're gonna talk about Kim Petras's new album Feed the Beast. I got the tour dates, all that good stuff. I'm gonna we got also talk about I got a recommended movie that y'all, you know, we as a class should be watching in regards to Pride Month. So we're going to talk about the Stroll. I'm going to give my thoughts on the Flash fizzling at the box office. Jussie Smollett got a new job, and he is directing his former Empire co-star in a new movie. Also, we're going to talk about Pharrell's debut at, you know, for Louis Vuitton. Or how does Bragger say Louis Vuitton? Yeah, he made his debut as the creative director of the Louis Vuitton fashion show. And while I lived for every aspect of it, I'm gonna give you all my thoughts on the whole situation, who was there, you know, who they showed in the audience and stuff. He's been accused of some thievery in regards to the fashion. So we're gonna talk about that. Also, we're gonna talk about this Simmons thing, Kelvin Hunter, Bethenny Frankel's thoughts on the whole drama with Joe and Melissa and Teresa Giudice and that whole situation. Kim Zolciak fighting with her damn husband. It's a whole War of the Roses type situation with them. And we're going to talk about Madonna and this whole situation that she got going on with her boo thing, Josh Popper, and this NDA that she had him sign. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to definitely bring up that Pitchfork article, because I did read it after Robert suggested it. Because when I get to the Kim Petras thing, I'll break it on down, and that's what he's referring to. The Pitchfork did a review of the Kim Petras album, and it kind of just dogged it in a way. So we'll get to that in a moment. But without further ado, we got so many topics to get to, child, and I do not want to be doing a 3-hour show. So, like I said before, as a reminder, Please like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. I'm gonna chop and screw and edit this video later on, and I'm gonna put it up in clips for people to watch later on, like all the big topics that I want people to get an eye on and stuff. So, but in the meantime, we're doing a show. So let's get right into some things. So before we get into this thing, this is officially Pride weekend. Tomorrow is New York Pride, which is like the biggest event that we have in New York City. So we already know they're gonna price gouge y'all. In every bar is gonna have a damn an entrance fee y'all gonna have to pay. They're gonna jack up them damn drink prices. Y'all gonna be paying $15 for a little ass cup of vodka cranberry and all that good stuff. So I would suggest y'all get some nutcrackers, or you get a little lit before you get to the club. Get yourself a little cute or whatever, feeling nice, and then you go and get your little drink, a little sippy sip, as you pass through and do whatever. But it's gonna be cute or whatever. I know they're gonna be showing the New York Pride on Hulu. So if you guys have Hulu, you could definitely watch the Pride Parade and stuff on there. That's probably what I'll be doing, because I can't with this heat. Like literally, I'll be walking a block. Like I'll tell you, yesterday I went and got a haircut. I walked from the train station. The train station is like 3 blocks away from my barbershop. Child, why was I dripping? It was so goddamn humid out in these streets yesterday. I was like sweating. I was like, I can't take this weather. Like, I'm not somebody who likes humidity. I don't like it at all. So, yeah. So with Pride and everything happening, one of the things I wanted to talk about is the fact that the minute June hits, and we always see the jokes, we see the memes. I post plenty of them. When y'all know, I post plenty of them damn memes when I'm on social media. And one of the things that I like to post is, making fun of a lot of the corporations that want to jump on the bandwagon of, Pride, because they want you to sign up to this bank, or they want you to come into Nordstrom's and buy this outfit, or you want to go to Target and get this, and you want to go to this place and get that, and they put all the rainbow shit on, and July 1st come, and they start scattering like roaches when you turn the goddamn light on in your apartment. In Julia Fox's apartment. Remember how she talked about she liked the roaches and the rats and she keep them as pets? That's a whole nother story. I don't know what. Child, that bitch was a mess. And they got her in the new season of Project Runway. Are y'all watching that, by the way? This new season of Project Runway is actually lit. I'm watching it. All Stars. It came on last night. I didn't see episode 3, but I did see the first 2 episodes. But anyway, nevertheless, my issue is this whole thing with the whole rainbow capitalism and corporations. See, this is the thing I was afraid of as this stuff was happening, because we mock and we make fun and we have the memes and the gyps and all the other stuff. But one of the things that's always irritated me is that first we saw it with Target. Target came out with this line of LGBT fashions, and then you had a couple of damn snowflakes who went in and started like trying to destroy public property. They were threatening the workers in the stores and instead of I remember when I was at Queens Pride a couple of weeks ago, Target was actually marching in the thing with us, and a bunch of the warpaths, because I was in the march as well, because I marched with ACQC, who is a big sponsor of Queens Pride, and I used to work with them a couple of years ago. So that's basically my family. So whenever I see them, I always march with them. Some of the same people that I worked with eons ago is still there. Shout out to y'all. DJ Biosounds is one of them, actually. That's how he and I actually met. We used to work together at that establishment. He's still there 20 some odd years later. But yeah, nevertheless, he's still there. But anyway, I know he did even Tambores this past week with Ted, another fellow DJ friend. But anyway, so one of the things that irritated me, because I know one of my friends started getting real loud and real aggressive, and then people was getting mad over the fact that Target was in the march with us. They were like, well, why is Target up in here? Because of what they did. And I'm like, that's not every Target. We can't lump every Target under the sun. I mean, we should take the corporate people to task for being pussy ass hoes and trying to remove themselves from, y'all letting the small group of bigots win over the fact that, y'all trying to say that you love and support us. And my argument on this is with Target, and then we had Starbucks that did, and I thought Starbucks was very pro-LGBT. I always heard stories that they were. I knew when I was with Shake Shack, they're very pro-LGBT. So I didn't hear any of them backing on it, but I did hear Target and I heard Starbucks, a couple of others. And my thing is this. if y'all gonna jump on this little bandwagon and try to capitalize on us and try to get our disposable income, because yes, you do get the LGBT coin, we do have that disposable income. Y'all can't run when the going gets tough. Y'all need to stick it out with us and be with us when the snowflakes, the Kid Rock types, the inbred bastards that ain't washed their ass in 6 weeks and got one good tooth in their goddamn mouth, try to come and be like, well, these people are disgusting and they're this and they're that. This is where we got to become vigilant. We got to fight. And we need to also remember that pride is not, and this is why I always fall back on this as a reminder for myself. It gets cute or whatever to have the floats and to have all these different corporations and Disney out there with us. And shout out to CBS, because CBS was out there with us at Queen's Pride. They were a huge part of, you know, being donors and being backers of Queen's Pride. So shout out to y'all for that. But we cannot let a couple of inbred bastards from the South dictate how we move in the rest of the world. The fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people out here who don't like the fact that gays are progressing in things. We already got 500 plus bills, anti-LGBTQ bills on, you know, that's ready to go forward because we have a bunch of ignorant ass people in the government. We got to make sure that don't happen. So we got to get out there. We got to vote. I remember I had a friend that was talking about, oh, well, this is why we shouldn't vote because these people are not going to be for others. I said, so what? What do we do then? Because you just saying all this left field bullshit and you saying not to vote because everybody's the same when I don't agree with that. There are people out here who are literally fighting a good fight. We can't just look at the president and the vice president as the pinnacle of things. We got to make sure it's always the smaller people. It's the Congress people that you have in your local areas. Those are the ones you got to be paying attention to. So I don't like the fact. So what I want to wrap this up is to say that we need to stay vigilant and we need to focus on the fact that, you know what, pride is not about floats and fancy stuff from corporations and Disney putting a non-binary character in a cartoon, which I'm here for. Pride started out as a protest. You know, March B. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, they were the ones who were out there in the front lines and said that. I'm going to bring them up in a second again when I talk about the Stroll, because they were in it. And so we need to remember our history and where pride started. So when people out here talking about, well, where this is why the straights don't like us, because y'all out here wearing thongs and you got your titties out and you got a jock strap on and your butt naked. And I said, what do you think? How do you think pride kicked off? I mean, Stonewall wasn't the first place that it started. There's a place in LA that I visited when I lived in Silver Lake that had a similar thing. I think it was called the Cafeteria, if I'm not mistaken. They had a situation, I believe, a year or two prior to what happened in New York City at Stonewall. So this has been going on for a long time, 50 plus years that we've been fighting that good fight. And yes, it started out as a protest because those trans women, them sissy gays, them drag queens was out there fighting for us. They were the ones that were like, I'm tired of being picked on by the police. I'm tired of y'all raiding our establishments because we can't even dance and have a good time together. You're raiding us and you're throwing us in prison. For what? For being LGBT. So this is what we need to focus on. Those are the things we need to remember. Not about no damn, a damn t-shirt and some damn Target and some closet case getting all upset over the fact that, the children. Where do you think homosexuality starts? It starts in children. And then we develop, like, we're born, you know, it's a born thing. It's not something that is learned. It's not a learned behavior. Not like molestation, which a lot of these priests and all these other stuff is doing, but I don't want to go on this whole little tangent about this. I just want to say this. Just remember that pride is about being vigilant. It's political. It's something that we always have to stay alert on. So while we out in these streets tomorrow, you know, celebrating, waving that flag and pumping down the street and all that other stuff, also be careful because there's some crazies out here. You know, there's a target on our backs now more than ever. Like I told her, with them 500 plus bills on the docket, and this rise in hate crimes and this, that, and the other, and these Republican retards who are out here weaponizing us as a distraction for them to steal your health care or deny you health care, stealing your pensions and all those other criminal activity that, a lot of these idiots are doing. Just be aware, be alert, stay woke. They hate that word. They hate the word woke. But I'm taking it back, bitch. I'm not going to let these heifers come out here and just try to turn woke into something that it don't necessarily mean. So shout out to all the people out there who are fighting the good fight, who was the political queens, the trans women, the gays, the ones that are out there who are really all about trying to be the change and make it the change. It's not all about the parties. Have a good time, party hardy, do all that good stuff. I know Christina Aguilera is supposed to be turning it out, I believe, at Pride Island tomorrow, I think. But child, I don't know why they didn't get Kylie Minogue, because it's all about her now. Like, she's everywhere. She was just at Horse Meat Disco, made a surprise appearance on Friday night. She was on the Today Show. She was on Watch What Happens Live, which I'm still looking for that episode on Watch. I haven't seen it pop up yet. They said they shot it on Monday. Why am I seeing these other people on there? But I'm not seeing the Kylie Minogue, Adam Lambert episode. That's the only one I want to see. So that one, she's been everywhere. She did the KT Utopia, which she turned it out. Kylie's been everywhere. And then there's rumors of the Vegas residency, which I'm here for, which I think as well as hype is coming up about regarding that. But yeah, so shout out to all the political gays. I'm here for y'all. And I'm gonna keep using this show as my way to spread the word of politics and things that goes on in our community. So, okay. So now let's move on to our next topic, which is this thing that's been trending regarding the Titan sub implosion. Okay. So y'all been following me on social media. You already know my stories on Instagram and Facebook, because it's connected. And a lot of my Facebook, I have been posting. Oh yeah, I'm celebrating Pride because I got my rainbow colored New York shirt on. And then it says Proud on the back. I forget where I got this shirt from, by the way. I think I got it from H&M. But I think I got it from H&M in LA, because they had like a Pride Month display. So I think that's where I got the shirt from. But anyway, so a couple of years ago. So yeah, so I started posting a lot of these memes and stuff, and while there were a lot of people that found it funny, there were some people who thought that it was distasteful. Oh, these are people that are human beings and their lives and they're dead, and now this is not something we should laugh at. Get the fuck out of here. Here's what I have to say about that. Call me heartless, I don't give a good goddamn. But I say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And they were like, well, what if that was your favorite? I said, first of all, I'm black like this, not like this. Shout out to Funky Doniva for that reference, because I'm gonna steal it. But people of color ain't doing nothing that foolish. I mean, I said maybe Sunny Hostin would, but then she said she's risk of a subversion, adjacent, whatever. Like, I would not do something that dumb. Let's just say that. I'm not going in no little ass, look like a damn fleshlight. I'm not getting my ass in no little ass flashlight and going underwater to see no remains of no damn Titanic. If I want to see Titanic, I will put on the movie with Kate Winslet and Leo DiCaprio, which, sidebar, Netflix, y'all are shady as fuck, because they're about to put that damn movie. They made the announcement, they putting that movie back on Netflix in July. Look at them capitalizing. And then they said Spotify, the numbers for My Heart, the numbers for My Heart Will Go On went up, through the stratosphere. Like, the numbers went through the roof. Like, people are listening to. I said, so me out here posting memes and shit, getting dragged, but y'all low key listening to My Heart Will Go On and capitalizing off this shit low key. See, I hate when people do shit in the dark. I'm gonna do my shit out in the open. I don't care. But my thing is, I look at this way. When you do dumb things, win stupid games, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And I always say, like my old school term, fuck around and find out. Y'all want to get in a little flashlight to go on the water, look at some old remains that most people said that when they go diving, they can't even find the shit. They were warned plenty of times of saying that this is a dangerous situation. You might not come back alive from this whole situation. Why take the risk? So you pay because you're bored with your life. You got all this excess money, $250,000 each, to go underwater to look at some remains of some Titanic. I get that it's a cute little thing and you want to have this thing on your bucket list and it's something that you could go viral for. But look, every little thing ain't worth your life. And I think a lot of times people like playing Russian roulette with their life, where they thinking, every little thing. And I think it's that whole Andy Warhol situation. Everybody want their 15 minutes. Well, guess what? You got it. And I guess, and then so what now? Are these people? And I'm sure that it's probably gonna happen. They'll make a little documentary on these people. They'll probably make a little TV movie based on them, which I don't think they should get. I don't feel like we need to stop rewarding people for doing dumb shit. But mind you, where was that same energy? And this is what I said to some of them people that blocked me. And I was like, if you're going to block me, I don't give a fuck any goddamn way. We don't need to be friends. Because the only time there's certain people, when I found out that a certain person, I'm not even going to mention that Thai queen's name, but when that person blocked me, I was like, first of all, you only pipe up on my comments when it's something that I say that you don't agree with. And I hate people like that. I call them fucking lurkers, like people who sit and just want to lurk in the background and look at your shit. But when you say something they don't like, all of a sudden you got something to say. You ain't no friend. You a damn fan, bitch. Robert said he lost some friends because of memes. And I was about to get to that. The only person I feel sympathy for is the 19-year-old that went on the trip. Because initially, he did not want to go. He knew the risks because it was explained to him. Because the kid got some goddamn sense. These grown people, y'all like playing with y'all lives. Y'all thinking money supposed to solve your problems. It's going to save you from catastrophes and all this other stuff. No. You can't take money when you're dead, because somebody will dig your ass up and steal it. So the aunt went and said, I read this on Twitter. The aunt went and said that the 19-year-old did not want to go because he was petrified. Because I guess all the risks and other stuff was explained to him, and they had to sign all these waivers. So that way, if anything went wrong, they can't get sued. And so the 19-year-old didn't want to go, but he only went because it was Father's Day and he didn't want to disappoint his dad. So now you got a father and a son dead in the ocean. I don't know why when I be thinking about at the bottom of the ocean, I always think of that line from the Oops, I Did It Again song. I don't know why, but that part always pops in my head. Remember the little part where they had the guy talking to the girl? I remember it was that dive in the ocean in the end. And then they said, then he gives her the time, oh, you shouldn't have, like that whole line before she goes to the oops, I did it again to your heart. Got along. Okay, let me not sing Britney, but oh yeah, and then I remember that too, that it was a post that I put up where it said the billionaire comments about not taking risks in the Blink-182 concert, where one of the guys went to a Blink-182. People are like, oh, he's so insensitive that Cardi B jumps in. I'm like, Cardi, if you don't just put out a goddamn record, that's what your plastic ass need to be worried about. Put out a motherfucking record and mind your goddamn business. This bitch stick her no, or go around and try to get the rest of Tasha K fucking money. Stop worrying about what other people not doing and showing up. And then Kundis Owens, dry edges having ass, jumps in the comments and talking about this the one time she agreed with Cardi. Bitch, we ain't asked your opinion. I wish somebody would have threw your ass in that damn fleshlight so you can go find your maker, bitch. But anyway, Sailor Mermaid's in the building. So how you doing? Gay media is glorifying the billionaire. Fuck. Well, look. This is the issue that I had, and this is what I kept pointing out, but of course it went on deaf's ears. Y'all had a whole lot to say about people talking about lives lost regarding billionaires, correct? But where was that same energy when you had them migrants who were on a ship, 700 of them, and it sunk because some damn whale went and brought it down into the ocean in Greece? Where was that energy? Oh, because they don't have money? Because they're not wealthy? Because it wasn't a bunch of white people? Because the media couldn't sensationalize it? It didn't sound like a great little sensationalized story that could go on that y'all could milk into the goddamn. This is why I can't with the media. And shout out to, I brought up days before Joy Reid did, and I'm glad she brought it up on her Instagram. And somebody said, no, not you trying to make it political. Bitch, it's always political. The minute something hits the news, it's political. What are you talking about? It's like when people tell musicians not to be political. Music, art, all that shit's been political. Where the fuck have you been? So I say all that to say, I do not feel sorry or empathy for anybody that decides to play Russian roulette with their lives and do dumb shit. I don't give a fuck. If you want to sit and play up this fake outrage, you go ahead and do that. But for me, like I said before, you fuck around and you will definitely find out. Okay? So I'm sure we have not, this is not the last we've heard of this whole situation. Oh yeah, so I gave my whole little rant about it, but I didn't mention the fact that they said a top secret U.S. Navy acoustic detection system designed to spot enemy submarines first heard the Titan sub implosion hours after the submersible began its mission. So they had heard this shit. When did they go under the water on Father's Day, right? So it was Sunday. So they heard it that day. Why did it take them days later for us to find out this mess? Somebody went and said to me in a comment, they said that some damn college kids could have figured that damn shit out. And I agree. Y'all wasted our taxpaying dollars on bullshit. Now, if y'all heard the tapping on Sunday, why didn't y'all investigate it? There's a thought. Or am I just a little slow? Or is it just me? I don't know. It's just common sense. Child, somebody need to knock their ass out and wake their ass up. And then wake their ass up. Because I don't know. What is the woke? What does that even mean? And I'm sick and tired of people weaponizing the word woke as, and you know what? It's funny. Sailor Mermaid's second one does, well, third, because I agreed. Robert said that. I said it, and then you said it. The only one we feel bad for was the 19-year-old because he was the only one that had some damn sense that he didn't want to go underwater. But he only did it to please his father. And you know, kids are always about pleasing their fathers. I still try, in so many ways to please my dad in a lot of situations. And I'm a grown-ass man. But I think that's always in our situations where we always try to please our parents, regardless. You don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to let them down. Those things. So I totally get it. So I do feel bad for the kid. But yeah, I would have sworn that y'all should have looked into it. Why we wait days later and then y'all bring it up? But this reminds me so much of like in the movie. Remember in the movie Titanic where the captain was warned that there was an iceberg ahead, that maybe they shouldn't have went that far out. They should turn the damn shit around, and he wouldn't listen. And all the people wound up dead, and the rich wound up getting out because they had the money, and all the poor people that was below wound up getting, dying and drowning and all this other mess. So I say all that to say, I'm sure this story is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. I will not be surprised if, they, like I said, they end up doing a documentary or a biopic or something based off this situation. And if it does, I'll definitely talk about it, give my opinion. All right, so let's move on and talk about this new Kim Petras album, bitch. So I totally forgot that Kim Petras' album Feed the Beast was coming out until I'm so glad that I have Apple Music, because Apple Music, if I save something ahead of time, pre-save an album, it reminds me that the album's out. So her album came out in Kelly Clarkson. I have not listened to the Kelly Clarkson album yet. I will get around to it. Lindsay was like, did you hear? Because he went live yesterday, tried to get me to come all the way out to the city. I was like, I don't know, damn Friday, not when it's Pride weekend, bitch. Not in division with, at the job. I live for you, girl, but it was already late. But anyway, so she was saying, did I listen to the Gwen Stefani song? And I'm like, Gwen Stefani? I did listen to it. I was like, she should have left that on the cutting room floor. But I said, I'm in a Kim Petras situation right now. That's all I'm listening to. And I'm glad I did, because that album is a bop from beginning to end. It was giving me like that full on, pop, dance, Euro dance. That's my shit. He said, it's the damn system. We even tell our hookups wave and keep on walking. But anyway, so the new Kim Petras album came out, and I have to say that, like I said, it's a bop. My favorite songs on the album so far is the opening track, Feed the Beast. I was like, ooh. First of all, I was like, she ain't let off the gas. That damn production on that song. And yes, it was produced by Dr. Luke, who was just exonerated with his situation with Kesha, finally. That case is null and void. It's done. I don't know what's gonna happen to his career. I don't know if people still gonna work with him. But look, Kim Petras worked on some tracks with him, and "Feed the Beast" is that one of my favorite songs on the album. I don't save your tomatoes, but a bop is a bop, and I can't deny it because a man allegedly did some stuff to Kesha, which she said she can't even recollect actually happened. So I won't say she's lying because I'm a fan, but at the same time, if you can't remember what happened, he's got to get thrown out. But now the man's reputation is ruined. But anyway, so "Feed the Beast" is my song. "King of Hearts" bait with Banks, which I'm a huge Banks fan. My only issue with the bait song is that it sounds too much like a Banks track, and it sounds like Kim is doing background vocals on it. So it doesn't really feel like a Kim Petras Banks collaboration. It just feels like she's just guest appearing on a Banks track. Sex Talk is cute. Claws, my coconut. I do live for that song, especially Drag Race when they did that song recently. And "Hit It From the Back," bitch. Now, if you do a song called "Hit It From the Back," you already know you got me immediately. But anyway, so "Feed the Beast," I absolutely love the album. I love the what the title actually stands for, which is it's an inside joke in Hollywood, in the music industry, where it's like a pop star is to consistently feed the machine, hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. So that's what "Feeding the Beast" actually means. And she collaborated with, like I said, Dr. Luke, the Monsters and Strangers, Circuit, Ian Kirkpatrick, and a couple of others. Circuit, I was like, yeah, she definitely worked with Circuit because there are certain songs on the album that sound similar to songs that Ava Max released. And now I'm starting to notice, like, Circuit, your production's starting to sound a little, you get those certain producers where it's like, y'all, like Red One. Remember at one point, all Red One was like the hot guy at the moment, and all his shit started sounding a little too similar. Now I don't know anybody that work with Red One right now. So I think, when you have these certain producers, they have a specific sound and people work with them too many times. It's like, y'all don't last long. But and then Kim definitely, I have to say, she has a great ear for song and melodies. And I feel like in so many ways she's followed Madonna's blueprint in regards of carving out a good pop song. And also, and then if you want to go on my website, I did post where she did like a Elle magazine thing where she sang Madonna, Cheetah Girls, Lady Gaga, a bunch of other stuff. And I also posted her Today Show performance because she performed on there yesterday. And also she said they hit the road, kick off her "Feed the Beast" World Tour of September 27th in Austin, Texas, and wraps up on March 5th of 2024 in Milan, Italy. But she's also coming to New York because I was looking for that New York date. I was like, I might want to go. But then I'm like, child, do I want to be surrounded by a bunch of damn Gen Z who's like, oh my God, I need my asthma pump. I'm going to have a heart attack if I don't have wait a minute, I got a barcode, bitch. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, Dark Child, his music started sounding, there's a bunch of producers. They all get in that whole situation. But anyway, so yeah, she is coming to New York. I'm trying to look for that damn New York date. I think it's Brooklyn, not even New York. I thought she would do like Roseland, or is she not big enough to do Roseland? October 9th, she's coming to Brooklyn, and she's going to be at the Brooklyn Mirage. I don't think I've ever been there. I would have thought, I was like, would she do Brooklyn Steel? But I guess Brooklyn Steel is way too big. I saw Goldfrapp at Brooklyn Steel. That is a big establishment. The drinks is good up in there too, because I had to get me some liquor. If I go to a concert, I always got to get a drink. Oh, so yeah, let me talk about the Pitchfork article. So the Pitchfork article basically went in and was like, we don't know who Kim is. Like, we like how she was in her earlier aspects of her career, but it feels like in so many ways that she sold her soul for mainstream success. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I know like a lot of people talk about, do we get their personality in Kim? I mean, do we get personality in a lot of these pop stars? And it's like, Kylie Minogue has spent 3 decades of her career carving out pop hits, but has never really dove into who she is as a person. Like, she always talks about love, and she talks about, all the things that we always talk about in pop. But I thought Roseland was still open. They just didn't they just do something or was it Hammerstein? They did something at a recent thing. I think it might be Hammerstein might be open. I always get Rose and Hammerstein confused. And I've been to both. But I think Hammerstein might still be open because I think they just did somebody just had a show there. But anyway, so what was I gonna say? Oh, so there were, but I'm like, there are many pop stars who have spent their career basically putting out music and things, but we don't really get an idea of they don't speak too much, they don't dive too much in their personal life. Kylie Minogue is someone who has never really dove too much into her personal life. Even like, remember when she had the whole cancer situation? I forget what album was that she had came out with around that time. There was no was it Kiss Me Once? Like she recorded songs for around that time, and she put out the record, but she didn't want to talk about the dark parts of her life and all that other stuff and things she was going through and relationships and this and the other. I feel like Madonna is someone who is, as a pop star, has given us an insight into her life. Like she's always talking about the things that she was about: politics, religion, her family situation, like her relationships. Like she's written songs about the men she's been in relationships with. She's talked about, she's not afraid to show vulnerability. And I feel like, down the road, Kim Petras will do that. But I feel like also that people need to look at it as like, this is someone who is a part of the LGBTQ community. Y'all do not give LGBT artists the grace that you would give straight artists when it comes to them expressing their full authentic selves. And I feel like at this point, maybe Kim Petras feels, I need to break out into the mainstream so that way down the road, then I could get a little more personable. So a lot of times we don't get to do the things. We don't get to be as personable with our shit. I mean, she did write a song called Hit It From the Back. I would think that would be a little more personal, don't you think? Hello? So I'm like, there's some songs on the album I feel like probably gives us a side of who she is in the second and third. But look, at this point, it's all about, the hot little cute song, getting those hits on TikTok. And also, that was another bitch I have too. I'm so over all these songs being 2.5 minutes. The longest song I believe on the album is like 3:16. I can't stand the fact that we have albums now that don't even go above 3 minutes. I think Kim Petras is actually 30. She just turned 30. I may have to look that up, but I do believe that Kim Petras just turned 30. Let me look and see right now. It's a good thing about live, child. Live situations. I don't want the album. I don't want to know when the album was released. I know when the album was released. No, I didn't put Kim Petras Feed the Beast. I think that was just that popped up. Yeah, she's 30. August 27th. Oh, bitch, she's a Virgo. Shout out to her. Yes. I did not know that. Ooh, we get to claim another one. She is August 27th, 1992. Wait, isn't that Michael Jackson's birthday too? I might have to look that up. But yeah, look, the Virgos is killing it. We got Kim Petras, we got Beyonce, we got Pink, Keke Palmer, yours truly. So yeah, so shout out to Kim. You keep doing your thing. I'm definitely liking what you're doing. I kind of like her more than Sam Smith, quiet as it's kept. But because she does the type of music that I actually like. Like I like that whole Europop, the 90s dance sound and stuff. And she's kind of bringing that sound back. Like the sound that Lady Gaga started out doing and Katy Perry and all those other girls back in the day. So I feel like that sound is starting to make a resurgence. And we talked about this numerous times on this show about Euro, that 90s house and oh, so close. Okay, so it's August 29th. What day did I say hers was? The 27th? So it was 2 days apart. Well, he a Virgo too. But yeah, so yeah, so shout out to you, Kim. I'm definitely excited with what you're gonna bring. I just hope that tour is sickening. Cause while I did think the Today Show performance was cute, I wanted a little more when it came with the choreography and the looks and all that other stuff. But I get it. It was daytime. You're promoting all that good stuff. I'm not gonna come down on you a little too hard. Okay, so going on from Kim Petras, here's something I feel like y'all need to we need to watch as a class. I've already seen it, but I have no problem watching it again. I watched it at work on my cell phone, but I need to sit and watch it because I was like, when I first saw the trailer, I didn't even know the Stroll was a thing. I had no idea until I happened to be. I was scrolling on Instagram while I was at work because it was slow. Nobody at work watches this, so I can say all of this. So I was on Instagram scrolling, minding my business like I always do. And I happened to come across someone who posted, I forget who it was. It might have been Wilson Cruz or somebody. Posted this trailer for the Stroll. And was said, if y'all have not seen it, y'all need to check this out, so on and so forth. So I was watching it. And then when I saw that it had came out, because I think I watched it on Thursday. When I saw that it came out on Wednesday, I was like, it's out? So immediately, because I have all the streamings on my phone, I went to my phone, I looked on Max, because it's called Max now. And then I happened to put it on. I was like sucked in from beginning to end. It was such a good damn documentary. If you have the time, definitely watch it. One of the things I've always been fascinated about is New York back in the day, like the 80s and 90s, because I was such a kid. I was a little kid when all that was. So I wasn't privy and I wasn't able to go like into the city and see, the hookers and all this other stuff. So I was always fascinated by hookers on the Stroll. And we used to call that the whole Stroll in 14th Street back in the day when I was a kid. Whenever we would take the bus and go into the city and 7th with friends. So I was like, oh, it's the whole Stroll over here. So I was aware of the area, but I didn't know the story. And I was glad that we had Kristen Lavelle and Zachary Drucker, who are the two directors behind the documentary, who basically decided to take the situation in their own hands and tell the story about what went down on New York City's 14th Street, that whole area, where a lot of trans women were practicing sex work. And this is why I've always talked about the fact that when people talk about, oh, trans women can go out and get jobs and stuff, that maybe they can now, but back in the day, trans women, if they found out you were LGBT or whatever, you could be fired from your job. So to see that these trans girls could not get a job, they couldn't get any kind of assistance. A lot of them were homeless. They had this little area where they built like apartments out of just whatever they could find on the street. And Sylvia Rivera lived out there and a bunch of them. And seeing Sylvia Rivera in this documentary definitely was much needed, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that her story and Marsha B. Johnson and a bunch of others, where it's like, yeah, they were out there fighting on the front lines for us. When the AIDS Holocaust was going on, it was the trans people, the trans women that were in those places nursing a lot of those AIDS patients. I can't say the health because there is no cure. They were feeding you, helping you out in a lot of situations. They were in those rooms. They were on the front lines and part of ACT UP and all that stuff. So that scene, and I've seen this clip before. I forget where I saw it, but I remember when I saw this thing of Sylvia was pissed because the gays she felt turned her back on the trans community. And she's like, I've been out here fighting this fight for all of y'all, and now when we need help, y'all basically don't care. You don't want to, this is how you treat us. And to me, it's always seemed that way, that it shows that gay people are out for self. Y'all always forget the T in LGBT. And it's unfortunate that that is something that we deal with. And I love that this documentary highlighted that. I also love the fact that they highlighted how a lot of us who were not middle class or wealthy or white hated Giuliani. Could not stand that motherfucker. His spitting on the mic, speaking ass, that fucking lisp. I couldn't stand Giuliani. Hated his guts. And you know, hate is a strong word. I couldn't stand that bastard. Especially what he did to nightlife, where, you know, basically anybody who wrote graffiti, who were loitering, who was doing all this other stuff, he wanted them arrested. Stop and frisk. He was profiling a lot of people who of color, basically. A lot of people of color were being profiled. There was a lot of racism under Giuliani's, you know, reign as a mayor. I believe he served 2 terms. Then we had Bloomberg, who I totally forgot ushered in this whole gentrification situation, price gouging, pushing people out so they could build all these luxury buildings and this, that, and the third, which is still going on in New York. He started that shit. But of course, because he's a self-made billionaire, and the economy was kind of where it was, and I understand why Bloomberg got up in there, because 9/11 happened. And when 9/11 happened and the world was at a standstill and everybody was being nice and cordial with each other, because I remember the phone calls I used to get. I was on my way my boss wanted me, I remember where I was the day that 9/11 happened. My boss wanted me to come into work. I'm like, how am I getting to work? First of all, the trains are shut down. How am I getting to Manhattan? Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be able to come to work if this is happening. And I didn't even know, because I remember this was something that happened last week. My father was telling me that he was on his way into work. He was I think he said he was not too far away from, I think he worked in Jersey at the time. He was across the water. He said it was about to go into the building for a meeting, and he saw the plane hit the towers. One of them. I didn't even know that until he said it the day we were having the conversation. I was at home, got a phone call. My boss wanted me to come in to work, and I worked weekends at the time in a hospital for joint disease. On I believe it's on East 17th Street. There was no way in hell, and 2nd Avenue, I believe, there's no way in hell I was gonna get to come into the city, not on a weekday, because it happened, I believe, on a Monday. So there was no way I was gonna get out there. And then the Stroll also talks about how 9/11 prevented them from making more money because people weren't going out there, but it also ushered this thing where they learned how to sell sex on the internet. So that's when the internet boom happened, and they were out here pretty much teaching themselves how to take pictures, how to set up for clients. And that was always a great thing too, because I remember I think it was rentboy.com and stuff. They said that was a big thing that helped too, because it's like you can screen your clients. It definitely helped create this barrier where you could check and screen people and all this other stuff, so it wouldn't be a situation like it was on the Stroll, which was, I get in a car, I'm about to, you know, on your meat popsicle for a good 3 minutes for $10. Take me around the world for $50, whatever, how much I was charging, maybe $100. And then I got to worry about the possibility of you trying to kill me, which happened to a lot of the girls too. Some of them, you take them around the corner, and then it's, you know, you got some people waiting in the cut to beat them up and rob them, or you get off because you're short money, and then, you know, you get murdered or whatever, or you get cut up or whatever the case is, or then you have to worry about the 7th precinct, the police over there, where a lot of times they would have sex with the girls and still lock them up. So you learn all this stuff from there. And the fun fact, in case y'all didn't know, they were talking about how the meatpacking district, you know, was another place where, you know, the girls was carrying. Because 14th Street, that is that area, the whole meatpacking district area that you go further down, that was the Stroll. They still got the cobblestones, everything on that ground. Now it's all chains up and gentrified. You can't even recognize it. But fun fact, the meatpacking district, I don't know what called me to come over there. Maybe it was the ancestors of all the hookers around there. But that area is where I shot the video for, the Chris Avalon Unfiltered. The clip, the video that I show y'all, that's gonna be a part of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, will be premiere in July. I shot that in the meatpacking district. So I don't know. I guess that whole area called for me to be over there, and I didn't think about it. I was like, "Ooh, this is a good situation. This is a good thing to have." So, yeah. I know. Oh. I almost forgot to mention how they brought up RuPaul, and they dragged RuPaul up in there. It's about how RuPaul basically made a mockery of, excuse me, of them, of the hookers. So you out there dressed up, looking a hot mess, interviewing the hookers, and this was nothing more than a joke to you. I guess because RuPaul was young and ignorant back in the day, I guess you could look at it that way, but I'm sure, I would hope that because Ru is now in her 60s, that she would know better. But she had characters like Star Booty and all them other ones, and I always, the way I looked at it was like she took pride in prostitutes, but now looking back on it, it's like, oh no, you were just making fun of those women. This was their lives. This was their livelihood. They were trying to survive out in them streets, and you making a joke about their survival. So I say all this to say, if you have time in your day, definitely check out the Stroll on Max. I just want to call it HBO Max so bad. I can't stand just calling it Max. I think it's such a stupid name. But anyway, yes, definitely check out the Stroll on Max. It's a good show, a good documentary. Definitely check it out. And as I always like to say, sex work is work. In case y'all want to know. Now, okay, so what's the next topic? Okay, so let's get into this Flash story. So I told you I saw the Flash last week. The Flash basically flopped at the box office. Can't say I'm surprised. I kind of thought it might do well, but then once I started hearing the numbers, I'm like, well, guess not. So after Warner Brothers tried to act like all the drama surrounding Ezra Miller's personal life was happening in the multiverse, it looks like moviegoers have voted with their wallets because The Flash ended up underperforming big time at the box office. Now, shout out to Uprocks for this news report. The Flash was supposed to be a sure thing. Warner Brothers Discovery so believed in the big solo film for Justice League member Barry Allen that they stood by Ezra Miller, its troubled star, through thick and thin, even as they pulled the plug on the nearly completed Batgirl. The film, they hoped, would help save the flailing DCU. It was supposed to be massive, and then came opening weekend when it was up to moviegoers to decide its fate. Well, they showed up all right, but not in the numbers WBD had hoped. The corporation was hoping for a 70 to 75 million opening weekend, but as per deadline, they got $55.1 million. For the 4-day holiday weekend, the projection is only $64 million. Not even the cinema score is that good, with audiences giving it only a B. What happened will be debated in the days and weeks and months to come. Perhaps Miller's antics, running amok in Hawaii, robbery, possibly starting a cult, before finally agreeing to seek help last summer, may have done even more damage to the film's reputation than once assumed. Perhaps few were that excited to see a Flash movie, even one that brings back an old Batman. Perhaps superhero fatigue is truly setting in. In other news, Pixar had a rare bomb with Elemental, which only scared up $29.5 million. But they got an A on Cinema Score. And I heard Asteroid City, which is the latest Wes Anderson movie, had only opened in 6 locations but made $790,000 in 3 days. So that was doing well. But then I started hearing people saying that Wes Anderson, they wish that he would change up his aesthetic because he keeps doing the same goddamn movie over and over. I don't know. I don't get into those weird little Wes Anderson type movies. I'll probably check that out if I'm, bored one day at home and I need to watch it, because I'm sure it'll end up on Max or one of those damn websites. I mean, one of those streaming services. But to get to the Flash, I think many of things may have been against it. One, I do believe that a lot of the antics with Ezra Miller may have hurt the film. And Warner Brothers Discovery refusing to acknowledge the elephant in the room regarding all the shit that was going on with Ezra. Y'all thought if y'all just ignore it, it'll go away. And only have him show up to the premiere, the red carpet premiere, but not do any press. I remember when I mentioned that I went to go see The Flash last week when I met up with my family members, because I told her we went to the cemetery to visit my grandmother. My uncle didn't even know it was out. And he's a big movie buff. So he's like, it's out? I didn't even know it was out. I was like, yeah, it came out Thursday night. So it could have been that the promotion just wasn't, Warner Brothers wasn't promoting the movie the way it needed to. You needed your stars. Another factor that someone brought up was the fact that maybe Michael Keaton being in the film may have hurt it as well, that he doesn't have a big enough draw as they had hoped. Because if you think about it, Andy Muschietti is probably in the same age bracket as me. I guess I would be considered Gen X in a way. Andy Muschietti is Gen X. I believe, how old was I? I was probably like 8, 9 years old when the first Batman movie came out in 89 with Michael Keaton. And then Batman Returns, which I told you is like one of my favorite movies. So Michael Keaton, I don't feel like is a Batman that a lot of people are familiar with. He's for an older audience, and older audiences I don't think are gravitating to superhero movies like a lot of the younger generation is. I feel like if y'all wanted to take a bit more of, if it was more about the box office draw and those numbers, maybe they could have brought in Christian Bale, because Christian Bale is, the Batman for millennials. I guess who would Gen Z's Batman be? It would be would it be oh my god, what's his name? I was just Robert Pattinson. So yeah, so I'm considered Gen X, as Felix is saying. He says I think anyone born in the mid 70s to mid 80s are Gen X. Yeah. So Robert Pattinson, I guess, would be considered Gen Z's new Batman, because the last Batman they had, Batman that would star multiple Bale, and he's more the millennial Batman. So if y'all want to bring in the millennials and all other stuff, maybe I could have did Christian Bale. But I hated Christian Bale's voice as Batman, and I felt like he fought a little slow. But I get why Andy Muschietti chose Michael Keaton. Maybe this was to give him his closure, because he was initially supposed to do a third film, but then they wanted to get a little too cartoonish with it, and he was like, I'm bailing out. Then I told you that they brought in at the end, what's his name is going. I have a feeling that Aquaman 2 is going to flop as well, even though Jason Momoa did make a cameo in at the end, the post-credit scene. He does appear in a little comedic scene. Wonder Woman's in it. They brought a lot of cameos. Even George Clooney makes an appearance as Batman in it. So it is a good movie. I enjoyed it. I thought Ezra Miller did a phenomenal job as Barry Allen in The Flash. My only issue that I had with the film was the special effects. I felt like a lot of the effects in the film looked undone. It looked a little cheap. I might even be shady enough to say that the CW special effects look way better than what I saw in this movie. There were parts that took me out. I'm like, that's what y'all settled on? Like those effects? Y'all thought that looked worthy of keeping in the film? Like, no, that's bad. And look, I read an article, I think it was in the Wrap, where they said 100 animators quit on Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie. I want to see it. I haven't seen it. I heard it got great reviews. I heard it's some really long movies, 2.5 hours. When it comes out, I would definitely buy it, because I didn't get the chance to go to the movies and see it. Like, I haven't been trying to be in the movies every damn week. But they said 100 animators quit because they had them working like over 12 hours on stuff, and they couldn't eat. They had, there was a whole bunch of stuff going on in regards of the pressure of doing these films. And I think that's what it is too, that there's too many movies that are so deeply rooted in special effects in the movies right now that maybe that's what the issue is. People are getting tired of, maybe, I don't think it's people getting superhero fatigue. I think people are getting special effects heavy fatigue. I think movies that's out that relies so much on special effects and all this extra stuff, and there's so much pressure on the animators to meet a certain deadline. Like, y'all giving them a couple of weeks to be able to do. And look, I've done stuff where I went to film school. I've had to sit at a computer for hours on end trying to hit a deadline. That's why I don't do. Christopher Reeves in the film too, and a camera, and Helen Slater as Supergirl, the original Supergirl. I don't. I'll answer it in a second. Oh, wait, I'll just answer it now because it's there. Am I going to see Indiana Jones? No, I'm not. I'm going to wait until it comes out. I also have a feeling that's going to be another movie that flops. No shade. I love Harrison Ford, but I feel like from what I've heard, this film is not tracking well. And yeah, I think it's going to hurt it. But I think, yeah, I just think it's just a lot of these films are way too special effects heavy. These people are trying to meet deadlines that are just impossible to meet. What I don't understand is they shot The Flash. They were done with The Flash for over a year before we got to see it. They gave them a year to do the special effects. You see the movie and it's like, well, what the fuck were y'all doing? So what I'm noticing that what audiences want now, and it's based on the numbers, audiences want action-based stuff that's more grounded. That's why John Wick is already grossed close to $500 million at the box office. This is why Extraction is like one of the biggest, most successful movies on Netflix right now, as well as Jennifer Lopez's The Mother. This is why the tickets already through the roof regards of Mission Impossible. And say what you want about Tom Cruise, and believe me, I have, with his problematic ass. Because look, y'all sit up and talk about Ezra Miller, but Tom Cruise is just as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But people love the Mission Impossible movies. I'm one of them. I love the Mission Impossible movies because it's a great story, but it's also the action sequences are intense and it's grounded. And I think that's what the audiences want now. They want more grounded they want more grounded films, less special effects, or the digital needs to serve the story. Like with John Wick, all the blood and stuff you see, that's added in digitally. When you see like some of the gunshots and stuff, the bullets, all that's added in digitally. They don't even use bullets on set. So if it serves the story and it works, that's why people like it. And I agree with Robert. He says deadlines is what's hurting me. It's like, yeah. Actually, Fast X did not do really well. It did okay. It didn't do well. I think it did well overseas. But it's already, look, you can already you can already buy Fast X on the digital download, and this was like not even a month after it was in theaters. So yeah, they're losing. Fast X is losing money. This is why you see at the end they had to bring Dwayne Johnson back, because Dwayne Johnson has saved this franchise, whether Vin Diesel wants to admit it or not. Oh yeah. So, well, I don't know. Maybe he took a day off from, drinking that Scientology Kool-Aid when he went to go see Janet. But yeah, so I say all this to say I think Hollywood needs to scale back on spending, which Fast X cost almost $400 million at the box office. So I think Hollywood needs to step back from spending all this excessive amount of money on excuse me, on these big budgeted movies, and y'all need to start grounding your films more. So I'm starting to see like there's this trend of people want to see like the Extractions and the John Wicks and that type of action where it's the actors are in there doing the stunts, that it looks like, there's no cutaway, there's no shaky cam, there's no crazy special effects. The special effects don't look like, some kid just woke up yesterday and just started playing with, their computer and y'all just hired him off the street and whatever. So I do think we need to take a break from these special effects written movies, because otherwise, if that was the case, The Flash would have did well at the box office, Fast X would have did well at the box office, Quantum Mania would have did well at the box office, and also I just heard of people complaining about Secret Invasion. I have not seen the episodes yet, or episode. I like to wait because Disney, y'all only did 6 episodes seasons, and I hate when y'all do that. I'm waiting until they drop all the episodes and I'm gonna binge it. But I heard in the opening sequence it was AI generated and people are upset over it. So there's a lot going on there. I think the only things that did really well so far, and I did list off the top 10 biggest grossing films in that so far, and top 2 was Guardians of the Galaxy. The third one was the second most successful one, and number 1 was Super Mario Brothers. That was the biggest grossing film of the year. That's the only film that I believe grossed over $1 billion. And The Little Mermaid's on that list as well. Yeah, that's what's basically helping out with Fast X. It's gonna do well overseas. That's why they always have like all these international artists in their films, because that helps them sell their product. All right, so but I'll keep you guys abreast of the stuff as it develops, because it's always gonna be something going on with that. Now, speaking of Hollywood, Jussie Smollett got a new job. He now, I saw on TMZ that he's set to direct a new film with longtime supporter Vivica A. Fox as the Empire alum appeals his conviction for allegedly lying to police about being assaulted in Chicago. Now, Smollett, who made his directorial debut back in 2021 with B-Boy Blues, I'm hoping we get second time around. I'm really hoping that movie gets made. Was spotted on set in Orange County directing Vivica in a scene. Now, should Smollett lose the appeal, the actor/director will spend 5 months behind bars. The appeal has been continued 5 times, and the court said no more. The hearing is set for December. Now, Jussie spent a week behind bars in March 2022, and he was released from jail pending the appeal. Now, look, what I will say about this is I say what you want about Jussie, but I do believe that he deserves a chance to make a living. So y'all up in here talking about, oh, this one need to be canceled, that one need to be canceled. He allegedly lied about some shit. I don't think that someone should be canceled because of that. He's directing. Vivica's always been a longtime supporter of him. Besides, she needs a check. They just canceled Cocktails with Queens over at Fox Soul, so she need a check. So let that lady do what she need to do. And then they went and made TGIF with Funky Dineva and Al You Doing to them. They got a show 5 days a week now. So I'm not mad at the fact that Jussie's out here still working or whatever. You know what? There have been Karens out here, like I said, for years, who have lied on the backs of Black people and have gotten them thrown in jail, reputations destroyed, and or murdered. Hence Emmett Till. I have a feeling this Jonathan Majors ex-girlfriend may have been doing some lie telling too. And he really wants to believe that he's in a relationship with Megan Good. I'm not buying that shit. If you paid me $1 million, I wouldn't buy it. Not buying it at all. So there've been too many white people out here, and I'm sorry. Like, if y'all gonna call it, I'm gonna call it as I see it. There's been enough of you white folks out here who have lied on Black people and gotten their reputations destroyed and got them thrown in jail and or killed over some bullshit. So if Jussie Smollett is able to get away with a little something because he lied about being, beat up and called the F word by some crazy MAGA people because he wanted attention, he wanted to be the gay Tupac, then I could look the other way on some stuff. Call me a hypocrite. I don't give a good goddamn. But you know what? Sometimes we need to win a fair one too that balances out the universe. That's the way I see it. So, Sailor Mermaid said if they can move on and still do their job, so can he. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they always have, you know what I have to say? I actually liked Transformers. That was a really good one. Anthony Ramos, my other husband, is in it. And I like the fact that they're talking about doing a future G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. So I'm here for the Transformers thing. But overall, to say this with Jussie, let the man be out here and do his job and make his little coin and direct his movies and do other stuff. I actually prefer him behind the scenes than in front of the camera. Because if it helps getting stuff made, I'm curious of what this movie is and what it's about. But if Jussie Smollett has the collateral to get things made in Hollywood, then let the brother do what he need to do. I don't think people should be stopped because they did something that you don't like. And this is the weird part. There's more people mad over him lying, but then when there's people that have done 10 times worse, y'all find an excuse. Like all them years Kanye was out here doing all his bullshit, y'all looked the other way. Y'all made 1,001 excuses. I remember I got into it with some donkey on freaking Instagram over a post on the Jasmine brand where there was some of that R. Kelly talking about that he don't feel safe in jail and all this other stuff and he shouldn't be there and all this other stuff. I said, well, guess what? You should have thought of that before you decided to, he shouldn't be there because his life is ruined and stuff. But you should have thought of that before you did what you did to them girls. You ruined a lot of girls' lives. And instead of the girl in the comments talking about, well, they waited years to bring it up. And I'm sick and tired of people trying to put a damn timestamp on when somebody should come out and talk about their abuse. People should be able to come forward and tell what happened to them when they feel comfortable enough and ready to do it. Stop telling people how to react and how to feel when they've been assaulted or abused. There's reasons why a lot of people don't come forward because y'all like to shame their ass into silence. And the fucked up part was the girl that commented, and I said, well, let's see how you had that same energy when somebody assault your ass or one of your kids. She said it happened to her a couple of times. Well, bitch, then you should have known better. You would think that she would have, that if this has happened to you, that you would have way more empathy. But they the ones more fucked up. Am I going to watch the Barbie movie? Ain't nobody that damn gay. I kind of want to see it. I saw it before and I was like, okay, Greta Gerwig, I live for you, but girl, what was you thinking making this damn movie? But then when I went to go see The Flash, I actually saw the second trailer. I didn't watch the new trailer. They showed the new trailer during The Flash, the coming attractions. And so I went and I watched. I was like, okay, this movie, I see where they're going with this. It doesn't look bad, but no, it's not a movie that I'm going to be spending money to see in the theater. I will probably wait until it ends up on the streaming service and I'll watch it then. The next time I'm going to the movies is when Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 comes out. That'll be the next time I go to the movies. But because I'm being real selective. I've been in the movies a lot lately this year. Been going back and forth to the movies a lot. But yeah, I think like the next one, I'm being real selective in what I'm gonna go see. But so yeah, what was we talking about? I lost my train of thought. Oh, so Jussie Smollett, I say all that to say, Jussie, you keep going out here and do what you need to do, and come on, Barbie, let's go party. Oh, speaking of which, did y'all hear that song with Nicki Minaj and what the hell's that other girl? Ice Spice? Child, do I have to admit that I actually like that damn song? It's cute. It's a cute song. When does it come out, though? When does Barbie come out? I know Lindsay said she's going to go see it. Remy right now is in LA. And I saw that he took a photo over by the World of Wonder studio. And I was like, oh, if you go across the street, Willem's studio was over there. He was like, oh, I walked by it. I haven't heard the Dula Peep song. Yes, I'm stealing Wendy Williams' line. Is that around the same time as, oh wait, I think that's the following week. I think that's the following week of Mission Impossible. I think that's why Tom Cruise is allegedly upset, because he feels like that the Mission Impossible movie is not going to be in IMAX long enough, because now I said, look, it's like everybody's getting a damn week. You ain't special. Everybody's getting a weekend and a couple of days in IMAX because the theaters is packed. Welcome to COVID. COVID fault. That's who it is. COVID and forced everybody to, have to be doing, whatever. Okay, so, it's forcing everybody to try to squeeze as much as they possibly can. Yeah, the song is cute. I do feel like there's a controversy surrounding the whole Nicki Minaj track, Barbie World, where the producer of the song said that initially he had another, what was it, Saweetie on it, and he said that stole the song, that Saweetie and her were supposed to be on it, but she decided not to put Saweetie on it. She changed up the song and she had put Ice Spice on it, which I understand why she did it. Ice Spice is hot right now. I don't particularly care for her look. I don't care for her music. I don't care for whatever. I know, like, a lot of my younger coworkers, because I work with a lot of Gen Zers, they live for Ice Spice because they talk about her, and these are girls. So oh, you sent me a picture? I'm gonna have to check my phone, child. So, oh wait. So, oh yeah, you did send me. Oh, it said Barbie World with Aqua. Yeah, so I don't know. I may want to listen to the soundtrack because I have a strange feeling that soundtrack is gonna be gay as hell. There's an Ava Max track on it. I don't know. I haven't looked at the track list, so I may have to look at that. But anyway, so I heard the song. There's a whole controversy behind it in regards to Sweetie and that whole situation. And she put Ice Spice on it, which I understand. That was a business move because Ice Spice is hot right now. People ain't really checking for Sweetie like that. Y'all be talking about her the way she rhymes is whack any damn way. So, Nicki made a business decision because she needs a hit right now. It's like nobody's really checking for her like they used to, so she needs to jump on, these young, with these young girls, and it's a smart move because Madonna and them is doing it. If you're an icon in the industry, the smart thing to do is to jump and collaborate with a lot of the younger girls because it shows like you're lifting them up. You're gonna have those girls carry the torch. Nobody gets to be the queen forever, and I think Nicki Minaj has to learn that. Madonna knows it. She's like, I'm an icon. I'm somebody who's been making music for 4 decades, but I see potential in these other girls, so that's why she, gave the torch to Britney, and we saw what happened to her. And then Christina, and Christina's career didn't pop. And then, she's with Sam Smith, which nobody believes the whole thing he's doing with Vulgar and all that mess. So it's a whole situation. Is that, yeah, you want to pass the torch down. If I was an icon, I'd do the same damn thing. Well, the reason why they're shutting Nicki is because of the husband and the attitude. She has burned a lot of bridges with a lot of people in the industry, and yeah, she is a hothead. She's from Trinidad. What do you expect? And that's no shade. That's a fact. I know a lot of West Indians. A lot of you girls are hotheads, especially from Queens. Trust and believe. I grew up around a lot of you heifers. So if y'all gonna sit up here and try to get mad, don't get mad when it's the truth. Well, I know my close friend Esteban wants to go see Oppenheimer. I'm not a big Christopher Nolan fan like that. Like, I know he makes all these little passion projects, but I'm like, that is not something I want to sit in a damn IMAX and watch. Although I'm sure the sound and all this stuff is going to be amazing, but that's not something I want to see live. My thing is I'm more Denis Villeneuve. That is my dude. So when Dune 2 comes out, I'll definitely be in the theater to watch that. He's more my speed. But anyway, so let's move on to the next topic and talk about Pharrell. So I don't know if y'all saw Pharrell's menswear collection, because he's with Louis Vuitton, as Brad Goreski likes to say. But bitch, when I tell you I gagged over that Louis Vuitton collection, and here's the gag. I'm gonna even admit that I actually shed a couple of tears watching this fashion show. I don't know what's happened to me as I'm getting older. I cry over everything now. I'm crying watching Pharrell's Louis Vuitton fashion show. Like, what is happening with me? But I get why I felt that. It's because when he comes out at the end, and he did something I had never seen someone do before. He brought out all the people that helped him put this collection together. So as he comes out by himself after, we see the collection, and I like, the I forget the word he used. Someone told me I should have wrote that damn thing down. But it's like, it was checker and he used it with the denim and all other stuff. Like, I liked a lot of those looks. I love the bags. I liked a lot of the pieces in the show. Shout out to Jay-Z and Beyonce because Jay-Z performed. Because somebody get rid of that nappy ass hair. I do not like them locks on him. It does not look cute at all. He looks homeless. Beyonce was there looking fierce as usual. I heard Kim was there, Kardashian, and I heard that Rihanna was there. Clips also walked the runway. We have not seen Clips together in eons, but it was great to see them on the runway. But I have to say, this collection was everything. I lived for it. I feel like he is the right person to succeed Virgil Abloh. I know Kanye was probably shitting 1,000 bricks full of hatred and envy. But you was never that girl, child. You was never that. Somebody else agrees with me. You were never that fashion girl. You were not hit with you were not blessed with the fashion gene. You look like Boo Boo the Fool every time you leave your damn house trying to be the fashion person. But from Pharrell, it feels authentic. It feels like this dude knows what he's doing. So I live for the fashion show. I loved everything about a lot of the clothes. But one of the things I was going to say is that I loved that when he came out, I liked that they had the choir and all the stuff. I got chills with that part. They had the choir and they were singing the little song, whatever. I even Shazammed it and added it to my phone. But if y'all haven't seen, you can go on my website. I did post the article there. It has the link to the actual show. It's on YouTube. That's how I watched it. Because they won't let you like put it on the page. So I had to put the link in, which is annoying. I hate when YouTube does that sometimes. But anyway, so he brought out all the people that helped him put the show together, meaning put the clothes, all the people that were behind the scenes, the seamstresses, all the people that stitched all the clothes and all the other stuff together. You said gay menopause. How dare you? Could be. But what was I gonna say? Okay, so with that being said, Naomi Cameron was there too. Lenny Kravitz was there. I did see. I was watching Naomi's Instagram where she was showing a couple of the pieces and showing the bottles on the runway. So while Pharrell is basking in the glow of such a monumental moment, the 50-year-old mogul is being accused of highway fashion thievery. Now, a designer by the name of Kelly Ford recently took to social media accusing the fashion designer and creative director of the LV brand of mopping her concept. Now, Kelly went viral back in 2021 when she came up with the idea of taking an LV shopping bag and transforming it into a purse. The video came an instant viral hit and received over 10 million views. Now the fashion designer claims that Pharrell stole her concept and is using it in his new Louis Vuitton fashion line. Now here's what she said to her followers on TikTok. She said, fast forward to 2023 and under Pharrell's creative direction of Louis Vuitton, they dropped what looks like is the bag. Yeah, it's crazy. Kelly went on to say that it's not about filing lawsuits. It's the principle of taking other people's ideas and making it your own. It ain't about suing. It ain't about infringement. It's the thing is they took the concept. The concept is the same. The concept is the bag being a normal bag, a normal paper bag being worn at leisure. That's what they did. They took the concept of the bag. It's the concept, not the actual bag itself. So I posted the clips of her TikTok on my website if you guys want to hear what she has to say in regards to the situation. But what people were saying was that she wrapped the bags in plastic. The difference between hers is Pharrell's shopping bags were made of leather. So maybe he did take the idea. And she even said that Dapper Dan looked at it like it went viral. Dapper Dan gave her a shout out and was talking about he lived for the look and all that stuff. Dapper Dan is a fashion icon. Y'all know who he is. Look it up. Look him up. So with that being said, what I was thinking about is the fact that, okay, so unless you trademark it or unless you copyright it, people can do whatever they want to do with a concept. And what he did is like, okay, he saw your concept. I'm sure he had to. Like if Dapper Dan saw it, of course Pharrell's aware. He's someone who has his ears to the streets of fashion, so of course he's aware. But if he's aware, some people could look at something like, you know what, that's a cool idea, but you know what, I'm going to take that idea and I'm going to put this spin on it. That's usually how ideas are formulated. And if it's not copywritten, people can do whatever the hell they want to do with it. If it's not trademark, people can do whatever the hell they want to do with it. And this is why I said that what people need to do is you either trademark your ideas, or how about you come up with a concept with your own name and everything, and stop putting y'all want to put things for Louis Vuitton and all these other fashion houses, these white brands, but why don't you take these ideas and come up with your own concept? Maybe she thought that people were, that she was gonna get, it was gonna be an opportunity for her to get a job with Pharrell. So I get where she's coming from, but like I said, if it ain't been trademarked, if you ain't copyright the idea, people can do whatever the hell they want to do with it, unfortunately. Felix says, what I hate about Louis Vuitton and other high-end stores, if you go in a store in regular clothes, they give you looks like you're going to rob them. They did that to me a couple of... Child, there's a lot... You know how many rich people go up in these stores looking like a bum? I wonder if they get followed around. Well, yeah, child, I know AI is like the big fear everybody's got going on. It's like the music, it's the fashions, it's Kylie Minogue imitating AI, imitating her. This is the world we live in now. So I don't know what else to say on this whole thing, but it's just like I said before, if you don't copyright it, people can do whatever they want to do with your idea. And it's like, he didn't copy it verbatim. He probably saw the idea and was like, I'm going to make those bags, but I'm going to make them leather instead of wrap it in plastic. It's fantastic. Every time I hear something about wrap it in plastic, it makes me want to go and say, do the lyrics of Barbie Girl. Okay, so I'm sure you all heard by now, around Father's Day, there was some drama going on with Kimora Lee and Russell Simmons. But you want to know something? I'm probably going to have to, I think I'm going to drop this topic because we're already an hour and a half in. And there's so many other topics I want to get to. So we're going to skip that one. Because I'm sure y'all heard all the tea about Kimora Lee and all the other stuff and the daughters and slamming Russell Simmons and the fact that he gaslights them and the daughters had anxiety, all other stuff. So we're going to skip that one and go to the Kelvin Hunter one because I wrote this article, bitch. So we need to get in that one. I know I'm keeping production on their toes today. Because it's like, yeah, and you know what? I actually like it because it's like, it's making me feel out the topics and be like, I don't know if I really want to give all that energy to certain topics and another. And we got a lot of people in here commenting today, which I'm living for. Wait, there was some racist that happened at Louis Vuitton. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but if y'all heard some tea, tell me. Yeah, oh well, to address the whole thing with yelling on mute, I was like, well, what's the point of you posting a video of Russell Simmons yelling at you and we can't hear what the conversation is? I want to hear the tea. Like, if you're going to post it up online, I want to know what you're saying. But she said something or another that she was trying to figure out how to post things and take the sound off and so we can hear it. So she's still trying to figure this out. I'm like, well, wait, who posted? Was it Kimora or was it the kid? Because was it Aoki? Because I'm like, well, damn, you would think that Aoki is from like the computer generation. Like, I would think y'all would know. Y'all know technology better than us. Like, my friend Yuri, she was telling me her son Xander, who I think is like 6 or 7, like he knows. He's teaching her how to do reels and things on Instagram and stuff. So I would think the kid would know. So I'm like, well, damn, Aoki, you 20 years old, you should know how to work the sound. But anyway, I feel bad for what's going on over there, but what I'll say about this is this. Kimora, kids, y'all need to keep your family shit under wraps. Y'all need to go to therapy and work it out. Keep it off social media, because once you involve the social medias, that's when all the drama hits the fan. Yeah, there's a lot of kids that his niece is 4. Yeah, a lot of people know how to use tablets and because I think it's because parents shove the damn gadgets in their kids' damn face so you could leave them alone. So it's like, they don't know. I see them when I'm on the train and the bus and stuff. They give them kids a tablet. They give them their phone to watch stuff or play with little games. They do all that stuff so they can stop acting like Boo Boo the Fool online. But I'm not saying that's your case, but I'm just saying like there's a reason why a lot of people give these gadgets to the kids is to just it's a distraction. But I do think it's good that a lot of these kids learn how to use all this stuff. So let's get into this Wendy Williams thing because child, they complain about the screen time. Exactly. So it looks like karma has finally bitten Kelvin Hunter in the tush because word on the street is that Kelvin's mistress, Sharina Hudson, has allegedly dumped him after 16 years because the financial gravy train she became accustomed to has run out. Now, the two low-down dirty dogs started secretly seeing each other back in 2006 while Kelvin was still married to media personality Wendy Williams. How you doing? He was also using the money he made managing Williams and producing her daytime talk show to splurge on his lavish lifestyle with extramarital affairs. Now, after the blog started catching wind of Kelvin's cheating, Wendy hired a private investigator to follow her ex-husband. The breaking point, apparently, for Wendy, as we all know because she admitted it, who turned a blind eye to Kelvin's cheatations for years, was when he ended up getting Sharina pregnant with his now daughter, Journey. Also, instead of investigating the money he made, the money he made over the years as Wendy's manager, he would instead use Wendy's money to invest in Sharina's numerous failed career endeavors, such as massage therapy, helped her get certified as a realtor, open a short-lived vegan pancake business, a vegan nose soul food company, an online clothing and jewelry store called Vish, and even purchased a home for her that cost almost $1 million in the same neighborhood he shared a home with his wife at the time. A mess, honey. Now, back in February, a judge denied the father to his request for Williams to continue paying him alimony after he admitted he's struggling to pay his bills, saying, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the homeowners association, and I'm behind on that bill. If the homeowners association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow," Kelvin said in his pleading to the court about the home he shares with his baby mama and their love child. "My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended. My life has been greatly affected since the plaintiff stopped making payments under our settlement agreement. The fact that I am unable to sustain my life and pay my bills in order is extremely emergent to me. I cannot pay my bills and sustain my day-to-day living." Wendy ended up having the last laugh, as we saw when she snuck in a clause which states that she didn't have to pay Kelvin alimony if she left the Wendy Williams show. So, like, if the show discontinued, she would no longer have to pay him money. And here's the thing. You the one that decided to screw up and lay low and spread it wild with a whole nother woman for 16 years and was cheating throughout your whole marriage with Wendy. And I don't feel sorry for you because here's the thing. I don't understand why you didn't even think to save your money and invest it. All that money you made over the years as her manager, as a producer of the Wendy Williams show, you claim you came up with all these ideas for the show, which I didn't believe 1 second of. And then you had the whole thing with Lil Kev and the recent situation going on with him where he's talking about the people that are taking advantage of his mother and this, that, and the third. But it's like, I don't know if y'all ever had Wendy's back. I feel like Lil Kev probably betrayed Wendy too. Like, I heard that he looked at Sharina as a mother figure. That would really piss me off. If you the other woman and you basically looking at this mistress as a second mother to you, because apparently one time, I think it was Lil Kev got caught up in K2. A cousin introduced him to it. So Kevin got caught up in K2, and there was a period where he wound up going, I believe, to Dr. Sebi. I believe the same doctor that Left Eye was using or was going to use, or went to go visit in Colombia, and she ended up dying. They took Kevin to go see him to cure him of, his addiction. So they got him clean all his stuff. Apparently, they said that Sharina helped clean him up. This is according to Big Kev, because I had never heard Sharina talk. So I don't feel sorry for him because you were dumb enough to not invest your money. Y'all literally thought that you were gonna live off that alimony, and you thought you were just going to spend extravagantly out here without any kind of whatever. To me, I just think that's the dumbest thing. And you're just someone who doesn't understand how to save your money. You just thought that you were just going to price gouge your ex-wife and take advantage of. And quiet as it's kept, I honestly don't think Big Kev truly loved Wendy. I think you looked at her as an opportunity and a cash cow. Which is why a lot of times I think she knew she was in a shitty marriage, but she didn't want to leave the marriage because she wanted to save face and have her son grow up in a 2-family household. But if the relationship ain't healthy, how are you helping your son? By staying in a loveless marriage with a man who was in love with another woman and you were aware of her. But you decided to look the other way. Because you were probably out here doing other shit. Don't know what it was, but she was probably out here still doing her little drugs. Because I don't think it all of a sudden just happened when we started seeing the little slipations and stuff coming through during that last season before she started showing up to work altogether. So, if this is true, I don't feel bad for Kev at all. I heard that Sharina got a man. She had one for a long time that she was seeing while she was with Big Kev. And he's in South Carolina. And I heard that's where she's currently at right now, down in South Carolina with her new boo and the baby. I heard about Kevin Costner's wife too. And I hope she gets every damn cent because I heard Kevin Costner's an asshole. So on account of him being a dick, remember when Madonna made fun of him in Truth or Dare? I still remember that because he said her show was neat. Yes, I remember that shit. He's like, neat. But anyway, yeah. I was gonna say, good. Look, I know Wendy probably somewhere having a good old cackle. Well, that's if she's aware, because she's on a whole nother planet right now with them, with her issues. So get well, Wendy, but have a good cackle. All right, so let's talk about this whole Bethenny Frankel thing. So Bethenny Frankel is weighing in on celebrity sibling feuds regarding brothers Prince William and Prince Harry, as well as Real Housewives of New Jersey siblings Teresa and Giudice and Joe Gorga. Now, she says that my feeling is whether it's William or Harry or Teresa and Joe Gorga, the spouses have to stay out of it. This is what the Real Housewives of New York City alum, who's 52, said in a TikTok video this past Sunday on June 18th. The two siblings need to lock themselves in a room with the right person. I have a great suggestion. I would pay them to do this and work this out on their own. Frankel was primarily referring to ongoing feud between Giudice, who's 51, and Gorga, who's, I believe, 44, not 43, which has been a main source of drama on season 13 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. In their siblings spat, the respective partners, Melissa Gorga and Louis Ruelas, have also contributed to the drama. In addition to The Real Housewives of New Jersey family feud, Frankel seemingly alluded to Harry and William's wives, Meghan Markle and Princess Kate, as contributors to the royal brothers' relationship woes. Well, I haven't heard Kate say anything. I've heard a lot of Meghan Markle, but I don't even know, does Princess Kate talk? I never heard her talk. But she said, because one day, God forbid, someone has a health issue, something goes wrong, goes on with one of the kids, there are weddings, there are other things, then they're going to wish they had made up for lost time. When it came down to both siblings, the businesswoman stated that each of them need to keep their significant others out of the drama. She advised they sit down with a mediator to hash out their problems before it's too late. What I want to know is, does Bethenny have siblings, or is she an only child? Because if you are someone who does not have siblings, I don't think as an only child you can speak on this. But as someone who has got a brother and a sister and someone who does not have a good relationship with his brother, I can speak on this. A lot of times relationships are what. Okay, so I think with Teresa and Joe need to figure out. And I've always said this. I still don't even understand the root of why these two they butt heads. Because there was one time where I was like, we first saw Joe on the show, and he was just like, "You're garbage." And this is at the baby christening, I believe, of Melissa and Joe's kid. I forget which one it was. I don't know if it was Gino or whichever one. But anyway, they were at the christening. He called his sister garbage. She came over and said, well, I guess wanted to say hi to him. So they've always had like this big feud. Production said allegedly William and Kate may be headed for divorce. I would not be surprised because he gives me tease just like his daddy. And Kate ain't never looked happy any damn way. And first of all, that little child, the little Damien, that's what I call him. He a little something wrong with him. That boy be giving me a cackle the way he be acting at a lot of the boring family functions, the facial expressions, getting combative with his mother, that whole thing. But back to Teresa and Joe. I want to know what the root of the issue is between them. A lot of people say, oh, it's Melissa. I'm not listening to Teresa over trying to blame things on other people. What I want to know is, what is the root of the issue? Why do these two have the situation they have? Is it that Teresa saw something in Melissa that she didn't like, and Joe, being the hothead he is, refuses to listen to his sister? And now it's the shoes on the other foot, where Joe Gorga saw something in Juicy Joe, which eventually wound up getting his sister and Juicy Joe thrown in jail. And now with Joe and Louis. Prince Louis, is that his name? Yeah, I call him Little Damien. But anyway, they did shade her. I just watched the 2 episodes of And Just Like That. There was a Bethenny Reed in there. I'll have to get my thoughts on that show later on this season, because I got some thoughts. I'm still trying to break it down in my head, but I got some thoughts. But yeah, so I need to know what the root of the situation, but I do agree that significant others need to stay out of family drama. Case in point, my mother has a tendency of asserting herself in situations that has to do with my father and his siblings. Like most recently, I had a conversation with her, and she gets irritated because my grandfather, who is in his 80s and has a cane and can't really do much, has a big house. My parents live by car 10 minutes from where my grandfather lives. So my father goes over there a lot. He replaced the mailbox. He had to add new pipes in there because there was a leak coming from the tub into the bathroom downstairs, because there's 2 bathrooms in the house. Yes, Damien from The Omen. He gives me that vibe. But anyway, so she's like, well, why is he always going over and having to do things? That uncle stays up in the house. And now, mind you, my uncle is there. He's staying there, I guess. I don't know how this is going to work. His wife and his kids, and now he's a grandfather because his daughter, who's probably, I think, 18, 19, had a damn baby. So now they're down in Atlanta in a house that they just bought. He's still in New York, finishing up his stint working at Rikers until he's able to get his pension and all of this stuff, which is in another 2 years. I don't know how they're going to make that relationship work, but that ain't none of my damn business. Nevertheless, he's staying there for the time being. And my mother's like, well, why is it that he's not contributing? Why isn't he mowing the lawn? Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? Great questions. But my husband should have to go over there and do that. That's what he wants to do. My father is the oldest. And a lot of times when you grow up in certain generations, especially because my father was born in 1954, he is someone where it's like, if you're the oldest child, the responsibility, especially when you're from Black parents or Southern parents, the responsibility is always on the oldest kid. So I don't think he minds doing all that extra stuff. My mother doesn't see it that way. Now she's kind of had situations where she's with the other significant other because she's made comments on things where I feel like, stay out of it. If he's not going to say anything, if he's not getting involved, if he's not finding it an issue, leave it alone. Stay out of the whole situation. You wouldn't like it if he asserted himself in stuff that got to do with you and your siblings. So you need to let him, sometimes I always got to be the damn therapist of the voice of reason. I was like, let them do what they do over there. Stay out of it. Because then you're going to make it awkward in situations with when family reunions or Thanksgiving or this, that, and the other comes up, and now this one don't like being around this one because this one always got to have an opinion about stuff. You know, my mother, she a Capricorn, so you know they stay with an opinion. Um, yeah, that's something very prominent when you have like people who are like in their 30s. Like I know people when they damn 30s and became grandmothers. The kids be out here getting started early. So I do agree that Teresa and Joe need to figure out how to come together and make it work in their relationship. The problem is they're so damn stubborn and set in their ways where Joe could try to talk to Teresa, but Teresa has it in her head where she loves to dredge on the past. She'll believe other people over her own damn brother. And it's sort of like it's this back. And I also think it's the show, the fame, all the other stuff, the money, all of that gets tangled up in the situation. So it's hard for them to come to a resolution and work it out as a family when you have TV, you got fame, you got money. I wish if all this shit went away and they actually could sit down and really work it out as a family, I think maybe they can come to some sort of resolution. But it's hard, especially when you got these sites like All About the Real Housewives and all these other sites that team this one and team that one and trying to cause friction between the family members. People don't even know these people, and y'all causing these frictions between one another. So it's hard for siblings or celebrities to try to make it work when you got so many people from the peanut gallery asserting themselves. So I don't know. So while Bethenny does have a great idea, I do think that maybe you need to get him in a room with a mediator and both work it out. Just the two of them. Maybe they could get some cameras up in there. I'd be curious to watch it, but then that defeats the purpose, right? Okay, so let's do one more and then we'll take a break. Actually, you know, I'm tired of talking about white people and they bullshit ass problems. Let's cut this Kim Zolciak one. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about you can read that one on my website because Kroy is still going through it. Y'all, these white people call the goddamn police so damn much. Isn't that wasting taxpaying dollars every time, you know, the po, you know, is called to the house over some dumb shit because they said that he allegedly went and she allegedly went and took the kid and kidnapped the kid, and the kid didn't come home, and he called the cops, and they're saying it was a false phone call, and there's a bunch of drama going on with them. I can't with Kim and Kroy. Look, it's a water roses situation. They need to somebody needs to make a decision and be like, okay, either you or you need to get the hell up out of this house. Somebody got to go. Kim need to go back to the damn townhouse where Big Papa gave her. I don't even know if she's still, you know, there's people living there or whatever the case was, but she need to go to that townhouse and get up out that mansion because I don't know how y'all coexisting and y'all fighting the way y'all fighting because it's definitely a scene out of Water Roses. So anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk about Madonna and this NDA that she had her boxer boyfriend Josh Popper sign. There's an attack on Albanian pop stars because Ava Max got attacked, BB Rexa got attacked. Child, we got to protect Dula Peep and Rita Ora at all costs. Sources Santana is a Memphis nonprofit claiming they were scammed by her shady ass. We also got the Vivian was involved in a homophobic attack, and we're gonna talk about Queen Latifah being honored by the Kennedy Center. So we're gonna talk about all that and more. We're gonna take a little quick break, and we'll be right back with more of On the Line. So don't go nowhere.
I'm up, right? I am the lip sync assassin of season 6, and I am Trinity K. Bonet.
Why is everybody so incompetent?
When the pandemic happened, like in 2020, I kind of, had to pivot. I had gigs that I literally had canceled, and it was, what do I do now? So I started doing. I'd always had a YouTube presence. Like I was with the World of Wonder Network when they were doing it, and I interviewed the red carpets, and it was a lot of fun. But I never took it like as a full-time job or took it seriously. And then when that happened in 2020, I started investing my time into, okay, I can't do music right now. What else can I do? And I really found this love of content creation. So I started this YouTube channel, and I gathered sort of friends in the YouTube sphere. And one of these people that I gravitated towards was Cynthia Ann Beaumont, who is this very just sort of wacky, as much as I'm wacky figure on YouTube. She had this story. She had a husband, and she was a widow, and she had all this money she came into supposedly, and kind of we developed this whole storyline, and she was fighting with people on YouTube, and it became this weekly Friday night show that hundreds of people were tuning into. So I was like, wow, this is really exciting and fun. So, fast forward to March of this year, I reached out to a streaming network. It was a gay streaming network, and I was like, would you be interested in this? And they were interested in looking at it, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, a network is interested in this from what I created on.
Give me peso, extendo. Hey, I carry bitches like a prego. With nigga called Petras.
I got the door for you from y'all closets. Y'all can go ahead and come out now. I took the door off the motherfucking hinges, ho. Y'all come out now. No shade. Come out. No shade, bitch. I got y'all shit. No shade.
Me and Betty. Me and Betty.
This is so sad.
Let me see, girl. Poke it out. We matching too. Shut up.
You wish.
The threshold is right there. The moment you cross that threshold, bro, it's up.
You walk up on me tripping?
Yo, what? Hey, I want my money.
Watch out, watch out.
Where my money at?
Watch out.
Where my money at?
Watch out.
Where my money at?
Watch out, bro.
Where my money at?
Stop
Where my
tripping.
money
Let it
at?
happen.
Where my money at?
Let it happen.
Where my money at?
Back up, bro.
Oh, hey bitch. Oh, excuse you. Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry in. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Oh, we back because I'm busy messing. Look, I'm sitting there talking with the people watching the show in the comments. I'm sitting there messaging and the thing in between the commercial break. But anyway, we back, and I'm sure if you saw the commercial, you know that Chris Avalon Unfiltered is coming finally, or CC Peterson finally on July 8th. So right after the July 4th weekend and all that good stuff. When is July 4th? I'm assuming July 8th was a Saturday. Is that a Tuesday? Yeah. I wonder how my job is going to be. Are we getting the Monday off? And then, I don't know. I have to see how I got to see how they're going to figure that out. Because usually holidays fall on a 3-day weekend. But I have to figure out how that whole date situation is going. But anyway, back to the show. Thank you all for sticking around. Be sure if I mentioned it before, I mention it again, please like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff, because it definitely helps with the algorithm. Especially, when you get those views, and then, if you hit the like button, all the good stuff, it shows up in the feed. Other people will tune into the show and they'll discover this show and what I do. So your likes and all that good stuff is greatly appreciated. Okay, so let's get into this Madonna story, chair. So rumors are swirling that Madonna, who has been dating her 29-year-old boxer boyfriend Josh Popper since February, is taking extra precautions as to not have her bedroom secrets spilling over into the press. I should have put bedtime secrets. Play it up with the whole song, bedtime stories on the song. It didn't work, so I just left it as it is. Shout out to Beta Online for this story. Now, Madonna has forced her new 29... Forced? Damn, y'all really went through with the force word. Her 29-year-old boy toy boxer Josh Popper to sign a non-disclosure agreement, that's NDA, preventing him from spilling any bedroom secrets, Radar Online has learned. He is fine, isn't he, child? Ooh, Madonna got the taste, honey. She like them Spanish boys, especially from New York. They build them different out here. That's no shade. I'm just saying. Sources say the 64-year-old singer decided not to move forward with the romance until Josh agreed to her terms. The number one rule of dating Madonna is you don't talk about Madonna. Kind of like Fight Club, says a source. No one is more controlling of her image than she is. The insider said everyone who works on her upcoming tour has to sign an NDA before they could even audition. And the same applies to boyfriends. Before they even know if they're dating her, her lawyer is on the phone. Back in March, Madonna and Josh went Instagram official with steamy kissing photos. Before the post, the pop star has been seen sitting ringside for his fight at Manhattan's Classic Car Club. The romance came weeks after Madonna's relationship with 23-year-old model Andrew Darnell fizzled out. Before she hooked up with Darnell, the singer was in a long-term romance with her 28-year-old backup dancer Alan Malik Williams, who I'm sure will not be on this upcoming tour. In April 2022, sources told The Sun that following her breakup with Williams, Madonna has thrown herself into a busy social life and has been seeing her friends and family after the split. The source added she has a packed schedule, working on her upcoming biopic, new music, and looking after her family. Another insider claimed that the two are still on good terms and there are no hard feelings, but they are at different places with their lives. With them both working on other things, it was hard to keep their romance going, the source said. As read online, on top of the new relationship, sources claim there is hope her biopic starring Julia Garner will be revived after being scrapped. Well, the word on the curb is that before I get to my opinion, I should finish by saying this project means the world to Madonna, Insider previously said. Her opinion is that if it's to be a success, then Julia needs to slip into her mindset and live and breathe everything she does. It's the ultimate method acting challenge. Well, we know that Madonna is expecting this girl to embody every aspect of who she is, and I'm sure Julia is up for the task. The problem is we got to get this damn thing off the ground, and Julia's got to get to work because she is an actor at the end of the day, and she's got to, she's got things to do. And I know that Madonna is focusing on this tour, which is set to kick off in less than a month. She also has a new album that's supposed to be coming out. Don't know when, but I'm sure it's probably going to drop around the time of the tour. And I'm sure because I have two big time Madonna fans besides myself in the audience watching, I'm sure they have a lot of opinions on this. But I feel, do I believe the story? I do. And I'll tell you why. I believe it because if I was someone of Madonna's stature, I too would have plenty of the people that I'm hunching. Oh, I know he got a production say he got that meat girl. So I was trying to say it like La La Ree. He got that meat girl. Oh, you know he do. Oh, you know he packing. You know those Spanish boys, especially the ones that's built like that. Oh, they stay with the big dick. Trust and believe. They big and thick and girthy. And you know Madonna like that meat between me down there. I got that for Venus Extravaganza. And Madonna definitely got taste because the boyfriend's child. I was like, ooh, I would get me somebody that looked like him. I see dudes like him at my gym, by the way. And I used to do UFC, all that other stuff, so I know the type. But anyway, so you stop. But yeah, so if I was in Madonna's situation or as someone famous, you best believe I'm gonna have anybody that I'm hooking up with signing NDAs. And it's not that I'm ashamed or it's a secret, it's because I don't need you spilling my tea. When it comes to a lot of things I'm into, like I'll provide information if need be. But I am a private person, and I know that Madonna, as someone who's been a public figure for 4 decades, I'm sure there's aspects of her life that she wants to keep private as well. Like you see a lot of the in your face sexuality and stuff when it comes to her in her music. She pours a lot of that into her art, the sexuality, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, she's a good Catholic girl. She's someone who I believe has a lot of conservative views when it comes to relationships and all the other stuff, and likes to keep those aspects of her life private. So so even if it's just something where this is just some fun little fling between her and a much younger boyfriend. And I know a lot of people say that because why don't she give us somebody her own age? You really think somebody that's 64-year-old male can keep up with Madonna, especially if she's got a sexual appetite as big as hers is? I don't see that happening. So, I'm here for the whole situation. I would definitely keep it what they got going on, which is, yeah, I'm having you sign an NDA. And plus, I believe she also has him, from based on the footage I've seen that she's posted on her Instagram. I believe that he is in the show. You know, Madonna puts everybody that she encounters in her life at a time in her shows. So Josh, I believe, was in the show. She's probably got some boxing segment in the show, because remember, that was the hard candy era. I'm actually hoping that this album does come around at the time of the tour, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it's not just going to be, everybody thinks it's going to be this greatest hits tour, but Madonna can't just do, I just can't see her sitting up there doing like a Kylie Minogue or a Beyonce, where it's just like, I'm just going to give you the hits and that's it. No, I got to give you new shit too. So I believe she's going to give us the new songs, but there's going to be more of the hits incorporated into the tour than usual. But I do believe we're going to be getting a lot of the hits. But whatever. So yeah, shout out to you, Madonna. And I don't see nothing wrong with what you're doing. But then didn't I hear something or another regarding the what is it? The biopic that Warner Brothers is producing it? That after what happened with the not Rolling Stone. Why am I thinking about Rolling Stone? After what happened with Universal, that Warner Brothers is going to be dealing with the film. I don't know. I've heard that. I don't know if it's official, but I've heard that rumor. So yeah, look, and I don't see no problem with an older person dating a younger person. If y'all having fun, if the sex is great, if your mind is like mature, but you still feel like you're 29 or 35, who am I to judge? Do you, sis? Get that dick, honey. Or as Jada Pinkett's Peaches says, when the two people's hunching in a hotel room at the beginning of Low Down Dirty Shame, work 'em, girl. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, which is there's an attack on Albanian chicks. What's going on? So there seems to be a war on Albanian pop stars in the U.S. at the moment because less than a week after BB Rexha was attacked by a concert goer, Ava Max was assaulted by a fan while she was on stage performing. Now, less than 24 hours after BB Rexha was hit in the face by a fan's tossed cell phone during a show, fellow pop star Ava Max was slapped by a man attending her show in Los Angeles on Tuesday night. In a fan video of the incident, an unnamed man seemed to be appearing to swipe at Max's face during her show at the Fonda Theater. He slapped me so hard that he scratched the inside of my eye. He's never coming to my show again, the singer tweeted early Wednesday morning, June 21st, along with 2 angry face emoji. Thank you to the fans for being spectacular tonight in LA, though. Fan video of the incident shows a man dressed in black storming the stage and reaching out in what looks like an attempt to touch Max before getting wrapped up by security and hauled away after brushing her face with his hand. A fan at the show described the wild scene during the final song of Max's set, writing, "The guy rushed on stage at the end of the night, right when the last song ended. The security guard tackled him and literally threw him down the stairs. Wild. It happened so fast. You can see here she couldn't even open her eyes, but she still did M&G." At press time, a spokesperson for Max had not returned a request for additional information. I don't know why I can't. What's M&G? I don't know. Y'all start abbreviating shit that I got to sit and really think about. Oh, wait. What song does she have that has those abbreviations? Y'all really be having me try to do my work. I ain't doing that. It'll probably come to me later. Now, the stage rush took place less than 48 hours after Rexha was taken to New York hospital after 27-year-old Nicholas Malvagna chucked his cell phone at her during a show at the rooftop at Pier 17. The New Jersey resident was arrested and charged with 2 counts of assault in the 3rd degree, as well as 1 count of harassment in the 2nd degree, 1 count of aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree, and a count of attempted assault in the 3rd degree. Damn, that's a lot of charges. Rexha had to get stitches above her eye as a result of the phone strike. Now, here's the thing. Ava Max got her damn eye scratched. BB Rexha damn near lost the eye. And yeah, I forgot to mention that the guy said he did it because he thought it would be funny. Well, let's see how long your ass laugh when you get all these charges and your ass wind up in jail. Or more than likely, he's going to have to pay a huge fine and do community service. I heard BB said she didn't want to file charges, but you in New York, they're going to set the example with your ass. They're going to have to file charges. And I did hear people say, so what should happen? Should cell phones be locked up? Should cell phones not be allowed at concerts? I heard some people say, well, then I'm not going to go because how am I going to get pictures of this and the third? I'm like, oh, so. Let's travel back a couple of decades to a time when concerts existed, but cell phones did not. And people went to concerts and they had a good time. They enjoyed themselves. They had those memories. Phones didn't exist in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s. I'm not sure when cell phones were invented. I believe maybe in the late 90s. But they didn't have like where you could record and this and the other. We had the flip phones and all the other stuff. But, you know, there was a world and a time that existed where cell phones did not. So when y'all sitting up here and talk about, well, I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't show pictures and I can't phone and film and all this other stuff. You'll be fine. And yes, sometimes in life, one person fucks up for everybody. That has been a thing that has gone on since long before speech replaced sign language. So I don't know why y'all trying to act brand new. Why should we have to suffer because of one person? You can say the same thing about Ron DeSantis, who signed a bill where one person can complain about a book being offensive and the shit is banned. So yes, one person can make a difference. And one person can fuck it up for everybody else. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's called accountability. So we either have the phones locked up like y'all do at concerts. Well, not concerts. You do at comedy specials. Like I saw the, oh my God, what's his damn name? The one I always be posting on my damn social media for wilding out. That, the white boy. I don't know why it's late. That's probably why I forgot. But anyway, so I was watching a special of his. He had cell phones locked up so people wouldn't be recording his comedy special. There's places that you go all the time. I remember when I used to work at AMC, we used to have people lock up their phones so that way they could not film screenings of movies that were not yet released by the industry. Also remember Madonna had people's phones locked up for the Madam X tour. I had no idea what the tour looked like. I mean, I did see Matt Rife, thank you. That's why I love having an audience, because y'all definitely be the other side of my brain. So yeah, so you know, they had there's a lot of times when you go play, although there were people that I did see sneak footage of the Madam X tour, so she didn't have it truly locked down. But for the most part, a lot of people had to lock up their phones. So if that's where we're gonna have to go, that's one option. Another option, we're probably gonna have to have concerts now, or places invest in netting, where we're gonna have to have a huge net come down to protect the art, and performers are gonna have to perform behind a net. And that's the way y'all gonna have to look at footage, because a lot of y'all don't know how to act when y'all go out in public. I know some people said that the guy was drunk, so maybe they should ban alcohol from events. But people can pregame before they get to the place. Another thing I was going to bring up, thank you, Felix, for it, is better security, because people were saying that the security was horrible at the event that BB Rexa was performing at. A lot of these security guards don't give a damn. Y'all just be standing up in there, I guess, enjoying the show so damn much. Y'all not doing what needs to be done with your job. But I know one thing, if I was a security guard, you chuck a phone at somebody, I'm beating your ass. I also feel like I wish that we could allow celebrities to get in a fair one. So if you're going to throw a phone at me, I get to beat your ass. And you don't get to sue me. That's the way I see it. So those are some options. It's sad that this is what artists have to do, but this is at smaller venues. You ain't gonna see this happen at a Madonna concert. You're not gonna see this happen at a Beyonce concert, because Beyonce is so far away from the audience with that huge ass stage. You ain't chucking your phone and even gonna hit the damn stage, because she's so damn far away. So we just got to do better by our artists. It's sad that we're in a situation where celebrities can't even perform and do what they need to do as far as expressing themselves without y'all acting a fool. All right, so Saucy Santana is speaking out after he was accused of skipping out on a performance in Memphis. Now, according to Hot New Hip Hop, Saucy Santana is one of the definitive LGBTQ plus voices in all of hip hop right now. Despite that, he's caught up in some controversy over a Pride event. They fucked up with that he allegedly skipped out on. According to the Neighborhood Talk, a Memphis nonprofit called One Memphis One Vision booked Saucy for a show that he never showed up to. One Memphis One Vision claims that their company booked Santana for a Juneteenth Pride event that was supposed to take place June 18th. The report claims the organization agreed to pay Santana a total of $25,000 to host the event and perform 2 songs. And after apparently missing his flight, Saucy wasn't able to make the event. Afterward, the report claims that Santana's team then tried to convince the promoters to find him another place to perform and pay him the back end of $10,000 that he was owed. OMOV declined, as that wasn't part of their agreement. The organization then asked for them to return the $5,000 that they spent on the day's events, but Saucy's team refused. OMOV then said that they planned to sue. Damn, they really didn't proofread this before they hit send. That they plan to sue. They plan to sue. That's what they meant to write, for the money that they are owed, and are asking for a public apology from Saucy Santana. Now, Santana's team told them that they would not pay anything back despite the contract. They said they gave Santana a chance to do the right thing before they came to us with the story, but they told them the only solution was to sue because they won't be paying. OMOV plans to take them up on the offer if no agreement is made. And the fucked up part is, well, Saucy Santana's team, this is what they told TMZ Hip Hop. I hate the fact that they got a division, but whatever, because I feel like y'all not even for people of color. Sources at Tanner's team tells TMZ Hip Hop that one Memphis account of the event is completely fabricated and claimed they have receipts of their own. The rapper's team denies he was ever paid the $25K. It says that he just got half of the deposit before the show. Sources says that after he missed his flight, he offered to still come, and he insists to OMOV obliged and promised to extend the event or even have him perform at an after party or for a rate lower than what Saucy says he's used to. Saucy's team says those plans fell through for some reason, and OMOV then attempted to paint him as the bad guy. As for his rider, we're told that Saucy's team informed OMOV they didn't need everything on the list, just the liquor, the hookah, the chicken to pack up to eat for later. And Saucy also denies his team used the vehicle all day because they had to provide him with a vehicle. And I read his rider. His rider is crazy. He got a whole lot of stuff on there. I'm like, really? You need all this shit? But child, we're about to start calling Saucy the scammer. Because do I believe this story? I do feel that it's shady. That, yeah. First of all, we all know that nonprofits don't have a lot of money. So if you're a nonprofit organization, you should take that as an artist. You should take, especially when Saucy, you ain't got that many bops to begin with. You got a couple of hits and that's it. And I don't quite as it's kept see much longevity with you as an artist anyway. There's other LGBTQ artists that I see that has the longevity that have put out some shit that they could have went with. First of all, Big Freedia just released a new album on Friday, so y'all could have hit her up instead of Saucy with his Material Girl and Walk and what other songs he got. There was a lot of people that probably feel the way that you feel, that you never heard of him before he performed with Madonna at her Pride event last year. And being a nonprofit, you should know, like, okay, these people probably don't even, it was probably a lot for them to come up with that $25K to get you to perform. And you decide because you missed your flight, that messes with the situation. First of all, anybody with some sense knows, but I guess you an amateur, sweetie. Boo. But who leaves the day of to go to an event? You should have left the night before, because you never know how the planes and everything are the day of. So if I was in your position, I would have left the night before so that way I'm in town. I get to rest up. I get to, get one with myself, feel out the area, all the other stuff, see how it is. And then, if need be, I go in and do what I need to do, the sound check, all that other stuff. You never fly in the day of, because like I said, you never know how it is, the weather and all that other stuff, or the planes. So I don't know, this just sounds crazy. Maybe and maybe he's not paying the money back because he needed the money bad, and he probably spent it up. But if the company has the wherewithal to spend to take him to court and sue, if you feel that's what you need to do what you need to do. Okay, so there was an article that came out. Well, not even an article. There was something that came to my attention in regards to drag queens and interracial dating. So there was some guy that went on Twitter and started going in on, apparently he decided to pick a fight and talk about drag queens who he only saw dating white people. And apparently he had a problem with it. Even went as far as to post a picture of Peppermint with Caswell. Now I know Caswell. Caswell ain't in no relationship. And he's damn sure ain't dating Peppermint. I live for Peppermint. But yeah, he's not in a relationship with her. You just doing stuff, post up on social media just to get people riled up. Then I saw, I wasn't really going to talk about it initially, but then one of my friends slipped into my DMs on social media, well, on, I think, Facebook, and started bringing something to my attention in regards to the whole situation with them. I was confused because I was like, he said, are you aware of this Bob the Drag Queen stuff on Twitter? And there's something about him defending race play and then like supporting threats. Literally just search Bob the Drag Queen on Twitter. It's been going on for the last week. Well, I did see some stuff, and I did see like the whole race play thing where he was on sibling rivalry with Monet, and they were talking about how they think race play is hot. There was some porn star that I guess was having sex with a white dude, and the white guy was calling him the N-word while they was hunching. And Bob and it was like, they were turned on and it was hot, but you can't say that to me in real life. But in fantasy, they here for it. Now, here's the thing. I will say this about me. That is not something I'm into. I am not into the race play thing. You would not be calling me no N-word or all kinds of other shit while we fucking. First of all, you getting your teeth knocked out if you did that shit to me. Number two, I feel like we all have our fetishes or things that we like sexually in the bedroom, but we're not gonna go and admit it out in public. Like, I would not say something like what they said on a podcast. I know podcasts about roasting gags and having a kiki and being funny and all that other stuff, but me personally, I would not say that because I know like an audience is watching, and y'all not gonna try to drag me and call me to be no colorist or no racist and this, that, the other, even if I made a joke about it, because I know how sensitive people are out in these streets. So I'm not gonna make a comment about that. Also, so that was a little cringe moment for me regarding of that. Also, with drag queens dating white people, if there's somebody out here like a Billy Porter, and I've had this conversation on the show before, if a Billy Porter or a Latrice Royale, two black people who are married to white men, Bob the drag queen, I believe is dating two guys, actually. If I'm not mistaken. I should have called, I was about to say who, my source to find out the tea. Because I believe we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago when he was working on this Lyft ad, this Lyft campaign that Bob is a part of. I don't know if it's out or whatever, but I know like Bob was working on a Lyft campaign a couple of weeks ago, and my friend was telling me some stuff about some stuff. I'll just say that. But it's nothing bad. It was just, relationship stuff. But anyway, so I believe Bob's in a relationship with a white guy. I believe Monet is dating a white guy. So there's been a lot of people that we see from the drag race that have had interracial relationships. And the question remains, I feel like we should ask us, why do we care? Why is it a big issue if someone who is black dates someone outside of their race? Me personally, if someone treats me good and shows me respect and loves me for me and vice versa and all that other stuff, I don't care what the race is. If the person is kind, the person is takes, really has my best interest at heart and this, that, and the third, I feel like that's all that matters. I'm not going to sit around twiddling my thumbs waiting for some man of a certain hue or of a certain race or whatever to come sweep me off my feet or to be my knight in shining pickup truck. I'm not going to have that. I'm not waiting for that. If you want to sit around and wait for that perfect person to come get you and hope they black, be my guest. I've had a friend, Steven, who said that about how like there's been situations where he's been sitting around waiting to be in, to date black guys and want to stay true to, the black culture and this, that, and the other. And they feel like sometimes if you step outside of that, you're selling out your race or this, that, and the third. I feel like we sell ourselves short when we only want to just date one race or only want to be with one person or this sort of thing. I feel like there's so many different types of colors in the rainbow. Why not try them out? Felix said, like, I saw something on Instagram about someone said drag queens dressing like strippers. I said, I see more young girls dressing like strippers. That part. I mean, what drag queen dresses like a stripper? There's a couple of them that are like fashion girls that like to show off their body that they worked hard on, either paid for it or went to the gym. Could be both. Like, I have a friend, Zeta Jones, that dresses scantily clad, but that's her aesthetic. There's a lot of drag queens that, dress sexy. I mean, a lot of them wear leotards and tights. And that's it. What are you talking about? But anyway, so as long as you find somebody out there who loves you for you and supports you and doesn't judge you, if the person happens to be of a certain race, go out there and date that person. Don't listen to these fucking trolls on social media. But I do find that what Bob and Monet were laughing at about the whole race play thing, that was a bit cringe. I wouldn't have admitted that on camera. But, and I know like Bob had like a little town hall or whatever he had online. We were talking about he only wanted black people to be in on the conversation. If that's what you know, he wore that because I guess it would give more nuance, and he could do that. But yeah, let's stay out of grown people business. And then also, my question is this: when you ask these people, especially when it comes to dating a drag queen, or you getting mad at drag queens dating white men, we have something called femphobia in our community, and yes, we know white people do that shit too. No fats, no femmes, that whole blah blah situation. But ask yourself, would you date a Bob? Would you date an Akira, or you know, Asia O'Hara and these other black girls that are drag queens, Monique Hart or Mo Hart as they go by now? Would you date a Billy Porter? Would you date a Todrick Hall? I'm sure you would not, because we have something in our community, femphobia, which is definitely a real thing. It's like bad enough you don't even want to be called gay, but you don't want to be associated with anybody that's effeminate, because then people are going to look at you. Oh, he must be gay too. So we have all of that as well. Me, I go based off of energy. If there's a connection, then, you know, I'm interested. I kind of take more of a pansexual approach to relationships. So I just go based off of, you know, a connection I have with that person. So, you know, if it's intellectual, it could be a bunch of things. So I feel like we sell ourselves short when we deprive ourselves of opportunity to date other people. So do you? I don't judge. You know, I love everybody. But there's people out here who just worry so much about aesthetic and perception and what other people think. And y'all go around doing that, shit, y'all gonna miss out on a lot of good opportunities and a lot of good people. Now let's go from femphobia to homophobia, because RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 1 winner and All-Star 7 contestant, the Vivian, has revealed that she was a victim of a homophobic attack in the UK. Now, shout out to Gay Times for this story. Now, on June 16th, the All-Star 7 talent took to Twitter to recount a terrifying incident which occurred at a McDonald's in Liverpool, saying, "Just been attacked at McDonald's, police on way, homophobia alive, and well, folks," she wrote, "first time I've ever retaliated in a fight, because I'm not going to punch somebody in front of kids and women." Oh, I would have fucked their ass up. Kids is going to have to witness a drag queen beating this man ass. I remember back in the day when Flotilla DeBarge, but she ended up going to jail when she hit somebody with her shoe. Shortly after the Vivian opened up about the attack, fans flocked to her mentions with supportive messages. One person wrote, "I'm at a loss for words. I'm so sorry this happened. Much love and light, Viv." Another person tweeted, "I'm so sorry this happened to you. This shouldn't be happening in 2023. We love you, Viv." The Dancing on Ice star also received support from her fellow Drag Race stars like Shea Coulee, who wrote, "Damn, Viv, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Hope you're all right." Bibbidi Bombulash echoes similar sentiments, writing, "Sending you lots of love, babe. I'm sorry this happened to you. We're living in such horrific times." Fortunately, a few hours after the attack, the Vivian returned to social media revealed that police captured the homophobic assailant, saying, "Huge thank you to the fantastic staff at McDonald's UK Edge Lane, who acted fast and removed the idiot from the premises and did everything in their power to make sure I was okay and waited for police with me. He's been arrested and in custody. Result, it's so important that as a community we report and take action on hate crimes. Otherwise, it continues to happen. Time to set an example." In one of her final Twitter updates, the Vivian assured fans that she was okay before describing herself as a tough cookie, saying, "I'm on with my day, punch to the face or not. Not everyone is as big, strong, tall as me. I fears for the other that aren't able to handle themselves and shouldn't have to." It said the Vivian's horrifying experience comes a few months after the Home Office revealed that the number of hate crimes recorded in England and Wales reached a new high in 2022. Now, according to the report, there are 155,841 hate crimes recorded by police in the year ending March 2022, which was an increase of 26% from the year ending March 2021. Now, back in May, United Nations independent expert Victor Madrigal-Burlaws attributed the rise of hate crimes to conservative politicians and their anti-LGBTQ rhetoric, which is what I hit at earlier in the show when I was talking about rainbow capitalism and the corporations giving into anti-gay bigotry. Definitely a point that I had hinted at. And that's where a lot of it comes from. When you have a lot of these bigoted politicians who are using us as a smokescreen and for fear-mongering while they distract you from all the other things that they're doing, cutting your health care, stealing your pension, your social security, all that other stuff. So get the gays that, tell them the gays are stealing your job. The gays are coming for your children. Beat their ass. In so many words. So yeah, so then that's where you start to see a skyrocket. It's not just in the UK, it's here too, in America. That's why all of you that are out this weekend for Pride, tonight, if y'all getting flooded, whatever the case is, whoever, all y'all out there doing what you're doing, partying, drinking, getting lit, if you had a sex party, whatever the case is, be careful out here, because I'm sure, being that this is Pride Weekend in New York, travel in groups, be vigilant, be aware. There's going to be a huge rise in hate crimes, especially tomorrow with the big Pride parade in New York. So people just be careful while y'all out here. That's all I'm going to say on that. And shout out to the Vivian. I'm glad she's okay, but it's unfortunate that it's crazy. Like in 2023, we're still having to deal with this shit. All right, so now we're at our final topic, which is Queen Latifah. Shout out to her, because the hip-hop icon, producer, and actress has made history as the first female rapper to be honored by the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. Now, the show will take place on December 3rd at the Kennedy Arts Opera House in Washington, D.C., and will broadcast later that month on CBS. The honorees include comedian and host Billy Crystal, soprano Renee Fleming, singer-songwriter producer Barry Gibb, rapper, singer, and actress Queen Latifah, and singer Dionne Warwick. Latifah is the first female rapper to be honored at the prestigious ceremony. The event will also include a 50th anniversary salute to hip-hop. A lot of people are doing hip-hop tributes. I believe they're doing one again at the BET Awards. Speaking of which, I heard that, what's homophobic? I also heard that Busta Rhymes is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards, so I'll definitely be watching. And Patti LaBelle is doing a Tina Turner tribute. Oh, I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. I got a trophy, bitch. Oh my God. Oh, so that's what's homophobic. Sailor Mermaid said he has to work. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I feel bad. Look, back when I used to do public service, retail, that sort of thing, I used to have to work Pride too. I used to be tight. So I feel your pain, sis. But I also saw that they were shooting what's that? Ghostbusters around your job. Because I saw the picture that you posted. It said, this year we pay special tribute to the 50th anniversary of hip hop, a uniquely American culture whose constant evolution is one of endearing relevance and impact. Reflecting our society, it has grown into an international phenomenon. Deborah F. Rutter, president of the Kennedy Center, said in a statement, hip-hop has been an important, thriving art form here at the center for a number of years. What a privilege it is to bestow and honors to the first lady of hip-hop, Queen Latifah, who has inspired us along the way. And one of the things, Gloria Estefan, who was a 2017 Kennedy Center honoree, is going to host the show. So shout out to her. I live for Gloria Estefan. I live for Queen Latifah. Latifah is an icon. He's someone I've followed for as long as I can remember. I've always been a fan of her music. I grew up with her music. I followed her film career, like Living Single. That was my show. I've followed many a movie she's done. My favorite movie of hers is Set It Off. That's my movie. And I have not seen, don't kill me, but I've not seen one single episode of The Equalizer. I know it's on CBS, network television. I have Paramount Plus. One of these days, I'm going to sit down and actually binge the shows. I'm watching SWAT with Shamar Moore. So if I can watch his show, I can watch hers. But I'm going to get around to watching Equalizer one day. But it's like, Latifah has come so far and done so much in regards of entertainment, creativity, production. Like her flavor unit has done so much. So I'm here for what Latifah, Latifah getting this award. It's well deserved. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done with today's show. I did see there was an article that was done by what was it? Oh, the whole Vanna White thing. Look, get that lady her money. I don't understand how she has been only making. How you making $3 million for all the years she's been doing Wheel of Fortune? She does more work than past AJ. Y'all better get her coin, otherwise she should just walk away. Felix says before we go, Gloria was the first Latina to be inducted into the Songwriter Hall of Fame, and that was just recently. I know it's unfortunate that this industry, they're so slow in catching up with things. What needs to be done in regards of progress. We're so slow at that. I really can't wait till we get to a point, or hopefully it's before I leave this earth, is that we can stop being in a situation where it's the first to do this, the first to do that. I'm tired of it. It's annoying. But yeah, 18 years with no raise. Vanna, you better get your people on this situation. I don't know how you sitting there being all complicit and just letting them people just take advantage of you, pressing buttons and flip over letters. Because you should be getting way more than some damn $3 million. I'm like, what the hell is that? That's nothing. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in and helping me getting all those, posts and everything on Restream. That was a record that I got. I've never had that in the history of doing this show. And it's been, 3 years? So thank you all for tuning in to tonight's show. I definitely appreciate all the people that sat and joined in on the live show. For those of you who are going to check in on the show that when it's not live, I love you all too. For those of you are out, enjoying Pride and all that good stuff, have a great time. Be safe. Don't get too fucked up. Don't do anything I would, and all that good stuff. So, like I always say, until next time, ciao, darlings. Oh, hey, bitch. Oh, excuse you. Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
This is for faggots.